Chapter 1070. Something's happening inside. Zhao Feng exclaimed in disbelief. Even the forbidden god power on the battlefield could easily kill a demigod realm expert in the continent zone, let alone the source of the god power deep underground. Even a god realm expert wouldn't be able to get close to it. However, Zhao Feng found that there was movement in the head of the god corpse. Impossible. Zhao Feng shook his head. Divine realm experts weren't able to exist in the continent zone. This meant that the god corpse was definitely dead. Then what was the blurry movement that Zhao Feng just saw? A peerless weapon? A treasure? Zhao Feng was extremely excited. He was extremely curious about the god corpse 10,000 miles underground. The god power is gradually weakening. Zhao Feng had personally witnessed the appearance of this god power. At this moment, the god power that was surging on the battlefield was clearly much weaker than it was before. One day, this forbidden white divine light would completely disappear. At that point in time, the experts of the continent zone would be able to go underground and explore. Meow meow. The little thieving cat threw out several bronze coins and waved its paws. Opportunity? Good side? Zhao Feng's heart shook, and his blood started to boil. Even the little thieving cat's divination showed that the god corpse underground was definitely a treasure. But with my current strength, Zhao Feng shook his head. When this god power appeared, it stopped the war between the two lord dynasties. Zhao Feng knew that the sacred kings and demigods wanted the secrets underground even more than Zhao Feng. If the power of a god disappeared one day, almost all of the strongest experts in the continent zone would go there, including the demigods and sacred kings of the two lord dynasties. With Zhao Feng's strength, he could only rely on the replica god slaying arrow if he wanted to protect himself against the sacred king. Against the demigod, even if Zhao Feng used the real god-slaying arrow, it would be useless. Zhao Feng was unable to unleash the true might of the god-slaying arrow. Before a demigod, Zhao Feng was like a speck of dust. He was so small and insignificant. Whoosh! Zhao Feng waved the arm guard in his hand, and his figure suddenly faded and disappeared in a layer of overlapping silver shadows. The next moment, Zhao Feng returned to his stronghold city. At this time, in the stronghold near the battlefield, a large number of forces gathered, and most of them were intelligence personnel. If there were any changes to the forbidden divine light on the battlefield, they would immediately send the news to the sects and forces behind them. However, there were also some grand elders of some forces who despised the treasures in the underground of the battlefield and settled near the battlefield. Zhao Feng's appearance immediately attracted a lot of attention. Although most people's attention was on the forbidden area of the battlefield, Zhao Feng's fame from chasing after sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had spread across the continent. Whoosh! Zhao Feng didn't bother with them and returned to his residence. Zhao Feng, are you interested in the secret beneath this divine power? Nan Gongxing's cold voice sounded the moment Zhao Feng walked in. It was obvious that Nan Gongxing had been waiting here for a long time. Of course, Zhao Feng's reply was certain. Everyone in the continent zone was interested in this place. Zhao Feng understood what Nan Gongxing meant. Even if you and I work together, it'll be too difficult to find the secret underground. Nan Gongxing said. Zhao Feng nodded his head. Nan Gongxing was right. Nan Gongxing's aura had become stronger recently, but he still couldn't fight back against the Sacred King. Furthermore, Sacred Kings wouldn't be the only ones searching for the secret of the god corpse in the future. Demigods who stood at the peak of the continent would be there as well. It will take some time for the divine power to dissipate. I'm confident that I can increase my strength by another level in this period of time. Will I have the chance to work together with you then? Nan Gongxing revealed a cold and arrogant smile. Zhao Feng's heart paused. Nan Gongxing had the power of the evil god, so his strength would increase extremely quickly. It shouldn't be a problem for him to reach the late stages of the mystic light realm before the divine light completely dissipated. However, this came with a certain amount of risk. One was that his cultivation wouldn't be stable, and the other was that his personality would be twisted. At the same time, Zhao Feng was surprised and puzzled. Nan Gongsheng was willing to absorb the power of the evil god to increase his cultivation in order to find the secret underground. To a certain degree, it was definitely because of the evil god mental thought body. The original owner of the evil god mental thought body, Xieyong, was an ancient god above rank 6 of the 9 ranks of the true god realm. Even the evil god mental thought body wanted Nan Gongsheng to find the secret underground. From this, one could see that the god corpse buried underground wasn't simple. It might even be stronger than what Zhao Feng had expected. The meaning behind Nan Gongsheng's words was extremely obvious. Nan Gongsheng was confident that he could increase his strength by another level, but if Zhao Feng didn't increase his strength, he wouldn't even be able to work together with Nan Gongsheng. Zhao Feng was silent for a while. He could see through the ground and see the god corpse 10,000 miles below. Adding on the little thieving cat's divination and the evil god mental thought body in Nan Gongsheng's body, it meant that the god corpse underground was definitely not simple. How was it possible for Zhao Feng to give up on the fortune within the god corpse? Furthermore, the war between the two lord dynasties had temporarily stopped, and the demigods of Nine Darkness Palace had left their seclusion. Zhao Feng felt that the day when the demigods of Nine Darkness Palace would attack the Hall of Gods wasn't far away. The fortune within the god corpse might be a chance for Zhao Feng, a chance to counterattack Nine Darkness Palace. I will definitely go and find the god corpse. Zhao Feng's eyes were filled with determination as he replied. With the resources Zhao Feng had and the duplication ability of his left eye, it wasn't too hard for him to increase his cultivation. Furthermore, Zhao Feng was willing to increase his cultivation as fast as possible in order to find the secrets of the god corpse. It didn't matter if his foundation wasn't stable. However, even if Zhao Feng's cultivation had increased by a small level, it was still far from enough to find the secrets of the god corpse. Therefore, Zhao Feng was very willing to work together with Nan Gongsheng and find a fortune within the god corpse. Nan Gongsheng paused for a moment. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to give such a firm answer. Sure. Nan Gongsheng gave a wicked smile. The moment he destroyed Nine Darkness Palace would be the moment he fought with Zhao Feng. If Zhao Feng wasn't able to keep up with him, then there was no point in fighting him. Who? Nan Gongsheng left behind a wicked aura before disappearing from Zhao Feng's hall. This brat really knows how to boast. What confidence does he have that he can keep up with you? The evil god mental thought body within Nan Gongsheng's body laughed in disdain. Meow meow. The little thieving cat appeared after Nan Gongsheng left and gestured at Zhao Feng. Sure, resources aren't a problem. Zhao Feng agreed to the little thieving cat's request for resources without any hesitation. It was hard to predict what kind of danger and difficulty he would face in the god corpse. The increase in strength of the little thieving cat would be of great help to Zhao Feng. Thinking back, Zhao Feng relied on the little thieving cat for most of his fortune in the divine illusion dimension. It's time for me to go back as well, Zhao Feng murmured. According to the current situation, the forbidden divine light wouldn't disappear for a while. The two lord dynasties didn't want to fight anymore, so the war had already ended. In other words, it had turned into a battle for the god corpse underground. The spoils of the two lord dynasties would decide the final victor. Therefore, there was no point for Zhao Feng to stay on the battlefield, and he might even face danger. The Sacred Emperor and Sacred Empress were still trying to get closer to the 13th prince's death, and the demigods of Nine Darkness Palace were also on the battlefield. Furthermore, it was extremely easy for Zhao Feng to use the misty spatial world to travel back and forth, so Zhao Feng decided to go back to the Hall of Gods. Before leaving, Zhao Feng went to where Zhao Yufei was staying. The disturbance from the god corpse woke up Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei, who were in seclusion. Brother Feng. Zhao Yufei immediately sensed Zhao Feng's arrival. Zhao Feng entered the hall and found that his master, Duan Muqing, was also here. Yufei, I need to go back to the Hall of Gods, Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. I'll go with you. Zhao Yufei thought for a moment and said, No, now that the Hall of Gods and Nine Darkness Palace are enemies, it's best if you stay here. Zhao Feng immediately said. According to what Zhao Feng knew, The main reason the Duanmu family had fallen was because of Nine Darkness Palace. Therefore, Nine Darkness Palace probably didn't want Zhao Yufei to rise up. However, Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline was extremely important to the great Gan Lord dynasty, so Nine Darkness Palace didn't dare to do anything to her. Also, if I'm not wrong, Yufei's cultivation speed should be even faster here. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. The spiritual race bloodline fed on the essence of heaven-earth, so the higher the level, the faster one's cultivation speed would be. On the battlefield, because of the god power, the heaven-earth yuan qi had been improved and was abnormally dense. It could be said to be the best place for Zhao Yufei to cultivate. To a certain extent, this ancient god power might even be able to promote Zhao Yufei's bloodline to return to its ancestral state. If Zhao Yufei was in the god world, she would be a sacred king at the very least, or a god with her spiritual race bloodline. Yufei, these are some resources that I obtained by accident. Zhao Feng took out an interspatial ring that contained some pond water from the ancient dream realm, a portion of the earth-shattering raging bull's bloodline, and a primordial treasure that he recognized. Zhao Feng believed that these primordial treasures would definitely be of great help to Zhao Yufei's cultivation. Furthermore, the resources that Zhao Feng took out were insignificant compared to the huge amount of resources he had. However, it wasn't appropriate for Zhao Feng to take out too much. Thereafter, Zhao Feng bid farewell to Zhao Yufei and Duanmu Qing before leaving the battlefield. Junior sister Yufei, you should focus on your cultivation. With your spiritual race bloodline, it's only a matter of time before you become a god. There's no need to take this risk. Duanmu Qing immediately persuaded after Zhao Feng left. On the battlefield, the forbidden divine power was gradually weakening. Everyone knew that this power would disappear one day. When that happened, the experts of the continent zone would start searching for the treasures underground. However, even the demigods of the two lord dynasties would personally take action. The danger was too high. The Duanmu family didn't have a strong enough mystic light realm expert to protect Zhao Yufei. Therefore, Duanmu Qing didn't agree with Zhao Yufei's decision. No, I must enter. Zhao Yufei rejected him directly, her tone firm. She knew that Zhao Feng would definitely enter, and she wanted to help Zhao Feng. Yufei, why are you doing this? Sacred Lord Purple Knight's voice sounded in the soul dimension. I will work hard to cultivate in this period of time. I'll have the power to protect myself then. Zhao Yufei's body started to glow with a faint purple light as a surge of heaven-earth yuan qi merged into Zhao Yufei's body. The spiritual race bloodline was ranked 19th among the 10,000 ancient races, and its cultivation speed was unparalleled. As long as there was enough heaven-earth yuan qi, the spiritual race could devour it and quickly increase their strength. Chapter 1071. I'll cultivate hard during this period of time. I'll be able to protect myself when the time comes. Zhao Yufei's body became clear and sparkled with a faint purple light. An invisible surge of heaven-earth yuan qi merged into Zhao Yufei's body. The spiritual race bloodline was ranked 19th among the 10,000 ancient races. Its cultivation speed was unparalleled, and as long as there was enough heaven-earth yuan qi, the spiritual race could devour it to quickly increase their cultivation. This is Zhao Yufei's divine sense entered the interspatial dimension that Zhao Feng had given her. Zhao Yufei opened one of the bottles, and the ancient aura radiating from the ancient bloodline instantly caused her spiritual race bloodline to shake. Some of the dormant bloodline genes in her bloodline instantly became active. Zhao Yufei's body erupted with the power of the spirit race's bloodline. The heaven-earth yuan qi around her trembled and flickered with purple light, creating a violent storm. On the side, Duanmu Qing's mystic light, sacred power, started to tremble as if it was being suppressed. What's wrong, Yufei? Duanmu Qing immediately asked when he felt the change in Zhao Yufei's expression. In that instant, Duanmu Qing felt that Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline had become stronger, and the power of the spiritual race made Duanmu Qing feel extremely small. It's this. Brother Feng gave it to me. Zhao Yufei took out a transparent glass bottle. It contained some dark yellow blood that flickered with a faint luster. A great desolate Aeon origin bloodline aura slowly spread out. What a thick ancient aura. This seems to be an ancient bloodline and the density of the bloodline. Duan Muqing's divine sense entered the bottle, and his expression was filled with shock. He couldn't tell what kind of bloodline it was just from the blood, but the aura of the ancient bloodline within it was able to benefit Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline so much. From this, one could see how extraordinary the blood within the bottle was. Who? Duan Muqing waved his hand, and an isolation barrier appeared in the surroundings, trying his best to seal the primordial bloodline aura. Yufei, if you absorb all of the primordial genes and primordial aura in this primordial bloodline, the purity of your spirit race bloodline might increase to another level. The Purple Knight, Sacred Lord's voice appeared in Zhao Yufei's mind. How could Zhao Feng have such a precious item? Duan Muqing asked in surprise. And this? Zhao Yufei was stunned for a moment before she took out a medicinal herb from her storage space. Zhao Yufei did not recognize this herb, so she took it out for the Purple Knight's sacred leader and Duan Muqing to identify it. This is the Holy Spirit green jade grass, a legendary resource from the ancient era. It can merge the laws of wood into the sacred power whirlpool of a mystic light realm Sacred Lord. The Purple Knight's Sacred Lord was very knowledgeable and could recognize this precious material. Everyone knew that the strength of a mystic light realm Sacred Lord was related to the sacred power whirlpool within their body, and the sacred power whirlpool was the embodiment of a Sacred Lord's control over the laws of heaven and earth. This ancient resource could directly increase the strength of a Sacred Lord's mystic light sacred power. Most importantly, this Holy Spirit green jade grass contained a dense ancient aura that was beneficial to Zhao Yufei's bloodline. This Zhao Feng is really considerate to leave such a precious resource for you. The Purple Knight, Sacred Lord, sighed. Brother Feng, I won't let you down. Zhao Yufei was extremely excited as she held the two resources in her hands. Zhao Feng had given her such a precious treasure. Zhao Yufei felt a surge of warmth, and her eyes became watery. There was also a gourd of cold water within the interspatial dimension. Zhao Yufei believed that this item was definitely not simple. Just like that, Zhao Yufei used the dense heaven-earth yuan qi and the resources that Zhao Feng had given her to start to cultivate in seclusion. This water seems to be able to increase my mental energy intent. Zhao Yufei drank some of the water from the gourd and felt its effects. She was overjoyed. Zhao Yufei's physical cultivation had always been higher than her mental energy intent. If Zhao Yufei's intent could quickly increase, her strength would increase even faster. On the other side, Zhao Feng used the misty spatial world's ability to quickly pass through the provinces and return to the Hall of Gods in Yu Province. Zhao Feng stopped for a moment along the way. The Dark Ghost Clan is 3 million miles ahead. The Dark Ghost Clan was the Tao of Ghosts that Zhao Wang was from. At this moment, the connection between Zhao Feng and Zhao Wang was extremely clear. It was as if Zhao Feng was in the Dark Ghost Clan himself. Dark Ghost Clan, Senior Martial Brother Zhao Wang. Senior Martial Brother Zhao's strength has increased again. Senior Martial Brother Zhao is indeed a peerless prodigy of the Dark Ghost Clan. His name will definitely shake the Great Gon Lord dynasty in the future. On the way, many inner disciples and even some core disciples of the Dark Ghost Clan were very respectful toward Zhao Wang. At this moment, Zhao Wang was a domain-level king and the head disciple of the Dark Ghost Clan. He was a genius that only appeared once every 10,000 years and was taken in as a core disciple by the First Elder, who was only inferior to the Grand Elder. Zhao Wang had a cold expression as he ignored everything and left the Dark Ghost Clan. After Zhao Wang moved forward for a certain distance, he stopped in place and looked around. He didn't find anything strange. The next instant, a whirlpool of water appeared in front of Zhao Wang, and many precious resources appeared from it. The instant these resources appeared, Zhao Wang put them into his interspatial dimension. Zhao Wang then headed in another direction and left the Dark Ghost clan. Zhao Feng had a calm expression. He really hoped that Zhao Wang's strength would increase quickly. After breaking through to the mystic light realm, Zhao Feng had fought with sacred lords many times and felt the importance of a clone. At a critical moment, it could turn the tide. Zhao Feng's clone was too weak right now. Of course, this was also because Zhao Wang was in the Dark Ghost clan and couldn't display too much power. However, Zhao Feng couldn't wait any longer. Zhao Feng gave Zhao Wang many precious ancient resources this time. Most of them were useful to Mystic Light Realm sacred lords. Zhao Feng's plan was to have Zhao Wang leave the Dark Ghost clan for a while and then say that he had found an inheritance and obtained many cultivation resources after returning to the clan. In this way, Zhao Wang could make use of this to raise his strength to a whole new level. After handing over some resources to Zhao Wang, Zhao Feng's figure slowly faded away in a layer of darkness. One day later, Zhao Feng returned to the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng didn't disturb anyone and entered the Hall of Gods. Supreme Emperor Dark Knight and Bai Qingwei were already waiting in a secret hall. Bai Qingwei first reported the recent developments of the Hall of Gods to Zhao Feng, as well as some important information. Supreme Emperor Dark Knight then reported the situation of the Silence Assassination Division and the assassination attempts against the upper echelon of Nine Darkness Palace. All in all, after receiving the resources from Nine Darkness Palace and the Earth Demon Cult, the Hall of Gods forces had increased dramatically. They now covered more than 60% of the Great Gone Lord dynasty. The assassination attempts against the upper echelon of Nine Darkness Palace have been steadily increasing, but the appearance of the divine power on the battlefield caused most of Nine Darkness Palace's forces to enter the battlefield, lowering their guard against the Silence Assassination Division. Therefore, the completion rate of the assassination missions was very high. Supreme Emperor Dark Knight controlled the number of assassination missions and slowly reduced them. Zhao Feng said to Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, "The demigods and sacred kings of Nine Darkness Palace who were in seclusion all year round hadn't come out yet, so it was better for the Silence Assassination Division to control the number of assassination missions." Bai Qingwei, do you have any information on the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon? Zhao Feng asked. Zhao Feng still cared a little about the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. After all, back in the Divine Illusion dimension, Zhao Feng was one of the main culprits that stopped the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. He had even used the power of his left eye to fight against the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon fought against Demigod Dragon Emperor of the Grand Imperial Hall and was heavily injured. It then escaped, and its whereabouts are unknown. Bai Qingwei said, "It didn't die. It escaped from Demigod Dragon Emperor." Zhao Feng's expression changed, and he was slightly disappointed. Although Demigod Dragon Emperor was the strongest demigod of the Grand Imperial Hall, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon wasn't easy to deal with. It was very likely that Demigod Dragon Emperor was attracted by the divine power on the battlefield, which was why the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had the chance to escape. As long as the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon wasn't dead, Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to relax. After all, the strength of this dragon at its peak was on par with ancient god Xieyang. In a hidden valley in the Shuang province battlefield, a sinister man covered in black scale armor and an ordinary woman in white stood facing each other from a distance. Kill Zhao Feng. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon paused for a moment. It didn't expect that this was why the Eyes of Destiny wanted to work with it. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had a deep impression of Zhao Feng. If it wasn't for Zhao Feng, it would have entered Ancient God's mysterious palace a long time ago. As long as it obtained some resources and treasures, its strength would quickly increase, and it wouldn't have been severely injured by the demigod of the Great Gone Lord dynasty. It should be very simple for you to kill someone with the power of your Eyes of Destiny, right? A cunning look appeared in the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was very familiar with the Eyes of Destiny. The Eyes of Destiny didn't have any battle-related abilities, But if the eyes of destiny wanted to kill someone, they just needed to control the trajectory of fate and kill someone without them knowing. You might not know, but Zhao Feng's left eye has the potential to become the ninth god's eye. Bai Lin gave a simple smile and said calmly, "The ninth god's eye." The Black Destruction serpent dragon's expression changed dramatically. The 8 great god eyes were unique existences that were on par with the 10,000 ancient races. Every single god I could be ranked in the top 20 of the 10,000 ancient races. The Black Destruction serpent dragon didn't doubt Bai Lin's words. It had fought with Zhao Feng before, so it knew how strong Zhao Feng's eye bloodline was. There was also another rumor about the 8 great god eyes. Each of the 8 great god eyes contained an origin dimension that was unique in the world. The eye that could become the 9th god's eye shouldn't be an exception. If the Black Destruction serpent dragon was able to kill Zhao Feng and destroy the origin dimension within Zhao Feng's 9th god's eye, then it would be able to obtain a large amount of origin power of destruction, which would allow its strength to increase rapidly. That's right, his god eye has already formed. It's too difficult for my eyes of destiny to calculate his fate. Bai Lin shook her head. When Zhao Feng's left eye mutated into a golden color, the difficulty of her calculations had been constantly increasing. Thus, Bai Lin started with the people or things that were connected to Zhao Feng, such as Duke Nanfeng, Old Monster Su, the Ninth Prince, Zhao Yufei, and the Ocean Smoke Pavilion. Bai Lin secretly changed the fates of these people or things and pushed the danger onto Zhao Feng. However, her actions weren't enough to kill Zhao Feng. Not long after the Crown Prince trial ended, Bai Lin realized that her calculations and predictions were disturbed by another powerful force of destiny. It was impossible for her to kill Zhao Feng with her own strength. Of course, Bai Lin didn't tell the Black Destruction serpent dragon any of this. "Okay, I'll help you kill Zhao Feng, and you help me escape from the god corpse and obtain the most benefits." The Black Destruction serpent dragon revealed an excited and ruthless expression as it agreed. Chapter 1072. The gazes and attention of all the forces of the great Gan Lore dynasty were gathered on the front lines. Zhao Feng only left behind a few intelligence agents on the battlefield and called the others back to develop the Hall of Gods. The upper echelon members of the Hall of Gods, including Bai Qingwei, Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, Old Monster Su, the Black-Armored Sacred Lord, and company, didn't question Zhao Feng's decision. On top of that, Zhao Feng entered seclusion to increase his strength so that he could explore the god corpse in the future. In the ancient dream realm, Zhao Feng attacked the earth-shattering Raging Bull's race and enslaved the Sky Fire Lightning Ape, obtaining a large amount of precious resources. Zhao Feng's left eye had the ability to duplicate resources, and it could duplicate resources until he squeezed out all the power of an ancient resource. In this seclusion, Zhao Feng focused on his cultivation and soul eye bloodline techniques. His cultivation could quickly close the gap between him and a sacred king, and he would have the ability to protect himself when facing a sacred king. Soul eye bloodline techniques were Zhao Feng's strongest killing move apart from the god-slaying arrow. Right now, Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the late stages of the mystic light realm, and his soul eye bloodline techniques could deal some damage to sacred kings. The gaze of the god eye and the god eye disintegration could severely injure sacred kings. However, these two eye bloodline techniques had a flaw. When Zhao Feng used these two eye bloodline techniques, he couldn't divert too much attention to use other techniques. Since sacred lords all had clones, Zhao Feng's two eye bloodline techniques were much less effective. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's clone, Zhao Wang, wasn't strong enough right now and couldn't fight alongside Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique and started to multitask. A portion of his thoughts cultivated the 5 elemental wind lightning technique and the golden koan's sacred lightning body. The 5 elemental wind lightning technique could be used to raise Zhao Feng's cultivation level, while the golden koan's sacred lightning body could increase Zhao Feng's physique's defense and strength, so he wouldn't be completely defenseless when facing a Sage King. The other part of Zhao Feng's consciousness was used to cultivate some soul secret techniques, strengthen his soul, and research soul eye bloodline techniques. The last part of his consciousness was used by Zhao Feng to absorb the power of the thunder tribulation in the head. At the same time, Zhao Feng placed the other demigod tribulation head into the dimension of his left eye and duplicated it. If Zhao Feng's duplication ability had been awakened earlier, the power of the thunder test in the god's tribulation head might have been more. In this way, Zhao Feng's duplication would have been relatively cost-effective. Now, every time Zhao Feng duplicated a deity tribulation head, he could only obtain 5% of the lightning tribulation's power. Just like that, Zhao Feng entered seclusion in the forbidden grounds of the Hall of Gods, while all the forces of the Great Gon Lord dynasty focused their attention on the front lines. Only the Hall of Gods was able to use this chance to expand rapidly. 3 months later, Zhao Feng felt that the speed at which his cultivation advanced was extremely slow. This was because Zhao Feng had just broken through to the mystic light realm not long ago, and the precious resources in the ancient dream realm were less effective because he used them repeatedly. If that's the case, then I'll need you. A bright white crystal bead appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. It exuded a weak divine aura that caused the surrounding heaven-earth yuan qi to tremble in fear. Substandard god crystals were a luxury item for mystic light realm sacred lords. Sacred lords usually used them when they broke through. Now that Zhao Feng was only at the initial stages of the mystic light realm, he was already using substandard god crystals to increase his cultivation. At the same time, Zhao Feng sucked a substandard god crystal into the dimension of his left eye and duplicated it. After all, Zhao Feng didn't have many substandard god crystals. Zhao Feng held the substandard god crystal in his hand and absorbed a surge of pure heaven-earth yuan qi into his body before returning to the sacred power whirlpool in his dantian. What a pure and high-level energy! Zhao Feng couldn't help but be overjoyed. The energy within the substandard god crystal almost didn't need Zhao Feng to purify it. He could use it directly. This was the first time Zhao Feng had used a substandard god crystal, and the high-level heaven-earth yuan qi within Zhao Feng's body was able to increase his cultivation. Furthermore, the energy within the substandard god crystal was extremely strong, and it could refine the sacred power whirlpool within Zhao Feng's body and increase the strength of Zhao Feng's mystic light sacred power. Just like that, Zhao Feng started to use substandard god crystals to help himself break through. If the sacred lords of the continent zone knew that Zhao Feng was wasting substandard god crystals like this and using them as a daily cultivation resource, they would probably spit out blood in anger. If I use substandard god crystals, I should be able to raise my cultivation to the early stages of the mystic light realm before exploring the god corpse. Zhao Feng started to think. This was the first time Zhao Feng had recklessly raised his cultivation without solidifying his foundation. However, the sacrifice he made for the fortune within the god corpse was worth it. Furthermore, Zhao Feng's left eye had the duplication ability, so he could use substandard god crystals at the same time. It was limitless, so Zhao Feng didn't need to worry about not having enough substandard god crystals. However, while Zhao Feng was duplicating, the yuan qi and I intent within his body were being rapidly expended. Therefore, during the duplication process, Zhao Feng needed to use many precious resources or rest for a period of time. In the dimension of the soul, Zhao Feng's thoughts spun as countless soul secret techniques and theories flashed through his mind. At the same time, Zhao Feng was also filtering through all the soul eye bloodline techniques and secret techniques that he had learned in the past. After thinking for a while, Zhao Feng understood that if he wanted to create a new eye bloodline technique that could severely injure mystic light realm sacred kings, he couldn't focus on soul intent. In the past, Zhao Feng's fatal attacks mostly came from the symbols of God Tribulation Lightning. What if I use the symbols of God Tribulation Lightning as the main and the power of my soul as support? A thought appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. In the past, Zhao Feng's soul eye bloodline techniques used his soul power and eye intent as the main, and the God Tribulation lightning as support. This was because all traditional soul eye bloodline techniques were like this. Just like that, Zhao Feng changed his thoughts and started to research new eye bloodline techniques using the symbols of God Tribulation lightning as support. A month later, Zhao Feng realized that it was still extremely difficult to develop a new eye bloodline technique from this point of view. Therefore, Zhao Feng chose a shortcut and modified his original eye bloodline technique. In the end, Zhao Feng chose the wind lightning eye flame. The wind lightning eye flame was very practical, and as Zhao Feng's 5 elemental wind lightning technique grew, its power also grew. This was why Zhao Feng was able to use it until now. Zhao Feng felt that the process of modifying the wind lightning eye flame was extremely smooth. After all, Zhao Feng was extremely familiar with the wind lightning eye flame. 3 months later, Zhao Feng, who was in seclusion, suddenly opened his left eye, and a terrifying soul aura that contained the laws of destruction started to radiate from it. A ball of symbols of God Tribulation lightning flashed in Zhao Feng's left eye. Each symbol contained a wisp of soul eye bloodline flame that eventually formed a ball of purple God Tribulation lightning soul flame. Completed Tribulation lightning eye flame. A faint smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. The completion of the Tribulation lightning eye flame meant that Zhao Feng's control over the power of God Tribulation lightning had reached another level. During this period of time, Zhao Feng duplicated 3 God Tribulation heads and completely absorbed the power of God Tribulation lightning into his lightning soul body. At this moment, Zhao Feng had almost 4,000 God Tribulation lightning symbols in his lightning soul body. If he gathered all of them and used the Tribulation lightning eye flame, even Zhao Feng couldn't predict how strong it would be. Furthermore, the Tribulation lightning eye flame was different from the wind lightning eye flame. The Tribulation lightning eye flame was used on the soul. It pursued extreme damage to the soul. Furthermore, the power of the Tribulation lightning eye flame was related to the number of God Tribulation lightning symbols. Therefore, as long as Zhao Feng kept duplicating the God Tribulation heads and absorbing the God Tribulation lightning symbols, he would be able to increase the power of the Tribulation lightning eye flame. After completing the Tribulation lightning eye flame, Zhao Feng ended his seclusion and temporarily stopped cultivating. After 7 months of seclusion, Zhao Feng was able to multitask and complete the new soul eye bloodline technique. But his cultivation wasn't able to break through to the early stages of the mystic light realm, even with the help of a large amount of substandard God crystals. Luckily, Zhao Feng's left eye could duplicate substandard God crystals, or else Zhao Feng would have used up all of his substandard God crystals already. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had been using the duplication ability of his left eye during the 7 months of seclusion. Zhao Feng's current state wasn't very good, so Zhao Feng needed some time to recover. After exiting seclusion, Zhao Feng used the Dark Heart Seal to contact Bai Qingwei. Master, the divine power on the front lines has completely disappeared. The experts of the continent zone can now go 50,000 miles underground. Bai Qingwei reported the situation to Zhao Feng. They can now go 50,000 miles underground. Zhao Feng was surprised. The speed at which the divine power was disappearing was faster than Zhao Feng had imagined. Time waited for no one. Zhao Feng needed to break through to the early stages of the mystic light realm as soon as possible, or else he really wouldn't be able to enter the God Corpse to search for fortune. Master, the Imperials are here. Bai Qingyue's voice sounded in Zhao Feng's mind right at this moment. Imperials? Zhao Feng's eyes saw through everything and saw 2 Imperials outside the Hall of Gods. One of them was actually Sacred King Feather Spirit. There was also an initial stage mystic light realm Imperial Sacred Lord following Sacred King Feather Spirit. Sacred King Feather Spirit is here at this time. Zhao Feng had a bad feeling. The forbidden divine light on the battlefield attracted the attention of all the forces in the continent zone. Almost all the sacred kings were guarding the battlefield and weren't willing to leave. However, Sacred King Feather Spirit had come to the Hall of Gods at this time. Furthermore, Zhao Feng didn't have much of a relationship with Sacred King Feather Spirit. So, Zhao Feng quickly knew why Sacred King Feather Spirit was here. Senior Feather Spirit, come in. Zhao Feng messaged and invited Sacred King Feather Spirit into the hall he was in. Sacred King Feather Spirit instantly brought the other Sacred Lord into the hall Zhao Feng was in. In an instant, the laws of heaven and earth nearby were affected by Sacred King Feather Spirit's actions. Zhao Feng, I'm here because of the 13th prince's death. Sacred King Feather Spirit had a cold expression and a righteous expression. Sacred Lord Gong Wang can testify that I didn't leave the stronghold that day. Zhao Feng said with a faint smile. Zhao Feng, don't try to deny it. You have a substandard god weapon like the misty spatial world. As long as you mark the 13th prince's path of return, you can come back directly. The expression of the initial stage mystic light realm, Sacred Lord next to Sacred Lord Gong Wang, turned cold as he spoke. This initial stage mystic light realm, Sacred Lord, was the grandfather of the current Sacred Empress. Sacred King Feather Spirit personally came to investigate this matter after the Sacred Emperor, Sacred Empress, and the green-robed elder asked him to. Furthermore, we found the aura of wind lightning where the 13th prince was killed. The green-robed elder revealed a wicked smile. Chapter 1073. Furthermore, we found a faint aura of wind lightning at the place where the 13th prince was killed. The green-robed elder revealed a deadly smile. Even Mystic Light Realm, Sacred Lords, wouldn't be able to easily sense that faint aura of wind lightning. Only Mystic Light Realm, Sacred Kings that had reached the peak of control over the laws of heaven and earth would be able to sense it. It was obviously Sacred King Feather Spirit who had discovered this. In reality, the Sacred Queen's target was Zhao Feng from the very beginning. Firstly, the 9th prince didn't have the ability to do so back then. Secondly, although Zhao Yufei wasn't willing to marry the 13th prince, she wouldn't kill him and put the entire Duanmu family in danger. Thirdly, Nan Gongsheng and the demigod Kuan Yun had never met the 13th prince before. Even if they were the ones who killed him, the mastermind would be Zhao Feng. Apart from these people, there were no other experts nearby that could threaten the 13th prince's group. Aura of wind lightning? What does that mean? Zhao Feng had a calm expression as he asked with a faint smile. In reality, Zhao Feng's heart dropped. He had just broken through to the Mystic Light Realm not long ago, so he didn't have enough control over his intent. It was inevitable that he would leave behind some clues. From the looks of it, this Sacred King Feather Spirit wasn't a normal Mystic Light Realm Sacred King. He was still able to sense the aura of wind lightning after such a long time. What does that mean? The green-robed elder's expression froze. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to be so calm and have a smile on his face at a time like this. The remnant aura of wind lightning means that the assassin used the laws of wind lightning. Furthermore, you have a substandard god weapon like the misty spatial world that allows you to travel back and forth, so assassinating the 13th prince would be extremely easy. Apparently, you also have the spiritual flesh, snow, jade, lotus root. It's not impossible for you to use it to create a fake body and trick Sacred Lord Gong Wang. All in all, you're the only one who could have done this assassination. The green-robed elder roared in anger. Ha ha, you really know how to imagine. Zhao Feng laughed and didn't admit it. Zhao Feng, tell the truth. Sacred King Feather Spirit finally spoke at this moment. They had come to interrogate Zhao Feng this time, but Zhao Feng was acting as if he didn't care, as if he didn't know what was going on. An invisible pressure suddenly surged towards Zhao Feng. I didn't kill him. Zhao Feng denied it directly. You can't get rid of your suspicion. Sacred King Feather Spirit furrowed his eyebrows. Actually, the death of a prince of the Great Qian dynasty was not a big deal. In the past, the first prince, the second prince, and the other princes also died accidentally. At most, they would send a few normal Mystic Light realms to investigate. If there were no results, they could only give up. However, this time, the Sacred Emperor and Sacred Empress had personally asked him to investigate this matter. Furthermore, the green-robed elder next to him had some ties with him in the past. Otherwise, Sacred King Feather Spirit wouldn't have bothered with these small things. However, since Sacred King Feather Spirit had made a move, he had to investigate this matter. He also cared about the divine power on the front lines, so time was of the essence, and he didn't want to talk to Zhao Feng. Furthermore, a measly Grand Elder of a 3-star power was only at the initial stages of the Mystic Light Realm. He didn't put him in his eyes at all. Senior Feather Spirit, what else do you want to investigate? Zhao Feng looked at Sacred King Feather Spirit and asked. Zhao Feng had to be careful when facing Sacred King Feather Spirit. After all, the other party was an upper echelon member of the Grand Imperial Hall. If it was a Sacred King from another force, Zhao Feng wouldn't be scared at all. One had to know that Zhao Feng's duplication ability could duplicate substandard god-slaying arrows. Zhao Feng would be able to put up a fight against a Sacred King if he used all his hidden cards. Search his soul, and everything will be clear. Sacred King Feather Spirit had a calm expression as he looked down at Zhao Feng with a superior gaze. The green-robed elder next to him had a terrifying smile. From his point of view, the culprit was definitely Zhao Feng. Once Zhao Feng was proven to be the assassin, then the green-robed elder and the Sacred Empress would have a way to kill Zhao Feng and drag the 9th prince into this matter. Although the 13th prince was dead, he and the Sacred Empress still had to take revenge. They didn't want to see the 9th prince become the next emperor. Sacred King Feather Spirit, don't push your luck. Zhao Feng's expression froze, and his polite tone disappeared. Sacred King Feather Spirit's words meant that he didn't put Zhao Feng in his eyes at all. Putting aside the fact that his soul might be searched, Zhao Feng's soul and memories would be damaged to a certain degree. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had a lot of secrets, and Sacred King Feather Spirit would probably become greedy if he revealed any of them. I'm already being very polite to you. Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression became grim. Zhao Feng's words made him very unhappy. If it wasn't for the fact that the Hall of Gods was extremely big and Zhao Feng's potential wasn't normal, Sacred King Feather Spirit would have used force right from the start and used the soul-searching technique on Zhao Feng. Please leave. Zhao Feng asked him to leave. Now that the power of gods had appeared on the battlefield, the strongest battle power that the Imperials could summon was a Sacred King. Furthermore, the strongest demigod experts on the continent wouldn't care about the life and death of a prince. Furthermore, this was the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng even dared to offend 9 Darkness Palace, so why would he be scared of a Sacred King? As long as Zhao Feng didn't severely injure or kill Sacred King Feather Spirit, the demigod experts of the Grand Imperial Hall wouldn't come here to do anything to Zhao Feng. You refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. I'll teach you a lesson today. Sacred King Feather Spirit was instantly enraged. From Zhao Feng's actions, it was obvious that Zhao Feng was the one who tried to assassinate the 13th prince. Sacred King Feather Spirit was also very interested in the treasures that Zhao Feng had on him, such as the misty spatial world and many resources from the divine illusion dimension. Rumors also said that Zhao Feng had a god-slaying arrow. The elder in green robes was instantly overjoyed. He didn't know where Zhao Feng got the courage to go against Sacred King Feather Spirit, but Zhao Feng was dead for sure now. How dare you? Countless bolts of white lightning flashed in Zhao Feng's left eye, and a surge of destructive soul intent appeared along with a powerful undulation of soul power. Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye sensed that Sacred King Feather Spirit was about to attack, so he attacked first. Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng used the new eye bloodline technique that he had just developed, the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame, without hesitation. A ball of twisting god tribulation lightning symbols burned like fire and landed on Sacred King Feather Spirit's soul with a terrifying soul aura. Sacred King Feather Spirit, who was about to attack, was instantly stopped by Zhao Feng. Sacred King Feather Spirit felt as if his soul had fallen into a hell of lightning and fire. It was being struck by 10,000 bolts of lightning that could destroy everything. His soul continued to be damaged, and waves of bone-piercing pain exploded in Sacred King Feather Spirit's mind. The elder in green robes wasn't within Zhao Feng's attack range, but his soul could still feel the terrifying power of God Tribulation Lightning. The elder in green robes trembled as he looked at Zhao Feng as if he was looking at a monster. "Please go back." At this moment, Zhao Feng spoke once more. "Zhao Feng." Sacred King Feather Spirit slowly recovered, but his heart was filled with fear. He was caught off guard by Zhao Feng's soul eye bloodline technique, and it severely damaged his soul. His soul intent was extremely weak. If Zhao Feng used this technique again, it might cause irreparable damage to his soul, and he wouldn't be able to recover for at least several dozen millennia. When that happened, he might be severely affected when he searched for the treasures underground. So Sacred King Feather Spirit had to go back and completely recover from the damage to his soul. However, what he didn't understand was how Zhao Feng could release such a powerful attack when he was only at the initial stages of the Mystic Light Realm. At this moment, Sacred King Feather Spirit finally looked at Zhao Feng with caution. "Zhao Feng, you're very skilled." Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression became grim. "Let's go." Sacred King Feather Spirit and the elder in green robes left the Hall of Gods. "Senior Feather Spirit, are we just going to let Zhao Feng go like this?" The elder in green robes asked after leaving the Hall of Gods. Although it was hard to believe, Sacred King Feather Spirit, who was guarding the Great Gone Imperial Palace, had indeed been defeated by Zhao Feng. I didn't expect Zhao Feng to have grown to such a level already." The elder in green robes sighed in his heart. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to be able to force his Sacred King away. It would be very hard for him to take revenge now. The eyes of the other upper echelon members of the Grand Imperial Hall are all on the front lines right now. It won't be too late to deal with him after the treasures underground are explored. Also, it would be even better if Zhao Feng dares to come and explore the treasures underground. Sacred King Feather Spirit gave a wicked smile and quickly left. Sacred King Feather Spirit obviously wouldn't tell anyone that he was severely injured by Zhao Feng's soul eye bloodline technique. If Zhao Feng also came to explore the treasures underground, Sacred King Feather Spirit would be able to rope in some sacred lords that he had a good relationship with and take revenge. Within the Hall of Gods, "Master, you forced Sacred King Feather Spirit away?" Bai Qingwei asked in surprise. Sacred King Feather Spirit was an upper echelon member of the Grand Imperial Hall. The Grand Imperial Hall was the ruler of the Great Gone Lord Dynasty, and it was the strongest 4-star power in the Great Gone Lord Dynasty. "It's nothing," Zhao Feng said simply. Sacred King Feather Spirit alone couldn't represent the entire Grand Imperial Hall. Zhao Feng wasn't afraid of a Sacred King. In this world, strength was everything, and strength was everything. The power of the Tribulation Lightning, I Flame, is not bad. Zhao Feng smiled happily. Zhao Feng released all of his God Tribulation Lightning symbols just now and heavily injured Sacred King Feather Spirit's soul. Sacred King Feather Spirit didn't dare to attack Zhao Feng anymore. It uses up too many God Tribulation Lightning symbols. Zhao Feng evaluated. The Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame just now used up almost all of Zhao Feng's God Tribulation Lightning symbols. If Zhao Feng wanted to use the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame a second time, he would need to wait for the power of God Tribulation Lightning to recover. On the other hand, the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame didn't use up any soul power. Even if Zhao Feng's soul intent was extremely weak, he could still use the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng started to duplicate the God Tribulation heads after resting for a few days. The more God Tribulation Lightning Zhao Feng's lightning soul body contained, the stronger the Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame would become. During this period of time, Zhao Feng continued to use substandard God crystals to cultivate in hopes of breaking through to the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm as soon as possible. Zhao Feng had a premonition that it wouldn't be long before the divine energy disappeared. At that time, the God Corpse would appear in the continent zone. Therefore, Zhao Feng would often use the Dark Heart Seal to communicate with Bai Qingyue and understand the situation of the power of God on the battlefield. For months later, the sacred emperor of the Great Gan Lord dynasty changed, and the ninth prince officially became the sacred emperor. However, even though such a big thing had happened, none of the forces in the Lord dynasty paid too much attention to the new sacred emperor. Their eyes were still on the power of a god on the battlefield. In reality, all the upper echelon members of the three-star forces knew that the Imperials were just the managers of the Great Gan Lord dynasty on the surface. The true ruler of the Great Gan Lord dynasty was the Grand Imperial Hall. On this day, Bai Qingyue sent a message to Zhao Feng. Master, a demigod has reached 90,000 miles underground. Chapter 1074. Master, a demigod has reached 90,000 miles underground. On this day, Bai Qingyue sent a message to Zhao Feng. So fast, Zhao Feng's heart jumped. Only he knew that the god corpse was hidden 100,000 miles underground, and now a demigod had reached 90,000 miles underground. From the looks of it, the power of the god corpse was weakening faster the further one went. If this continues, there won't be enough time, Zhao Feng said in a solemn tone. He had been using substandard god crystals to cultivate over the past few days, and he was only one step away from the early stages of the mystic light realm. However, the speed at which the divine light disappeared on the battlefield would become faster and faster. If Zhao Feng delayed, he would lose the initiative. No, I have to go over first. Zhao Feng made a decision. Zhao Feng then contacted Bai Qingyue to learn more about the battlefield. The upper echelon of the two Lord dynasties seemed to have met with each other regarding the god corpse, and came to an agreement to temporarily stop fighting and search the secret treasures together. Bai Qingyue told Zhao Feng about the situation. The two Lord dynasties only said that they would temporarily search the secret treasures together. There were no other restrictions between them. This meant that if the members of the two Lord dynasties met each other in the secret treasures, they would immediately attack. The battlefield on the surface had moved to the secret treasures underground. Furthermore, one could see from the range of the god power that the secret treasures underground were extremely large. Therefore, the two Lord dynasties didn't set any restrictions, meaning that anyone could go down and search for fortune. As I thought, it will become like this. Zhao Feng had guessed this long ago. The secret treasures underground weren't secret realms or independent dimensions. They were an enormous god corpse. Almost all the experts of both Lord dynasties would enter, so there was no way to limit the number of people. Although there was no limit, normal sacred lords probably wouldn't dare to enter. This was because the sacred kings and demigods of both Lord dynasties would enter the secret treasures underground. Normal sacred lords would only die if they met sacred kings or demigods of opposing Lord dynasties. The heavenly divine realm was too far away for some initial stage or early stage mystic light realm sacred lords, so most initial stage mystic light realm sacred lords wouldn't take the risk. After understanding everything, Zhao Feng arrived at Saint Dr. Jade Spirit's residence. This time, Zhao Feng took out even more precious flesh and bloodlines and a few primordial precious materials that Zhao Feng could recognize so that saintly Dr. Jade Spirit could refine higher-grade pills. 7 days later, Zhao Feng took the pills and summoned Supreme, Sovereign Hidden Knight. Supreme Emperor Dark Knight, immediately release a large number of missions to assassinate the middle and upper echelons of Nine Darkness Palace. Zhao Feng immediately ordered. The number of assassination missions this time was very large, and the difficulty and level of the missions were very high. Among them, Zhao Feng also pointed out one person. This person was the great elder of the Nether Ghost sect. Now that the power of the gods on the battlefield was fading away, the upper echelons and demigods of Nine Darkness Palace couldn't leave the battlefield. This was the best chance for the Hall of Gods to weaken Nine Darkness Palace. Zhao Feng knew that even if he didn't attack Nine Darkness Palace first, the upper echelons and demigods of Nine Darkness Palace might attack the Hall of Gods after they finished exploring the treasures in the God Corpse. On a certain day, the Silent Assassination Division released a large number of assassination missions with rich rewards. The targets were all important members of Nine Darkness Palace and its subordinate forces. The assassins would also look for opportunities. At this moment, most of Nine Darkness Palace's attention was attracted by the treasures underground. Therefore, many assassins would accept the missions and take the risk. It was time for Zhao Feng to leave after saying everything. Shua! Zhao Feng waved the arm guard in his hand, and his figure started to fade and disappear amidst a layer of silver light. Zhao Feng used the misty spatial world and quickly headed toward the Lan province battlefield. On the way, Zhao Feng suddenly stopped and concealed his aura. He arrived at a sect that cultivated the Tao of ghosts, the Dark Ghost Clan. Since Zhao Feng was about to break through to the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, Zhao Feng was able to sneak into the Dark Ghost Clan without anyone knowing. The Dark Ghost Clan was the clan that Zhao Wang was from. The Grand Elder of the Dark Ghost Clan was the elder who had set up the evil Death Een Spirit Array with a black-armored Sacred Lord and company to kill Zhao Feng before escaping. It's time to take your life. Zhao Feng laughed coldly. The elder had Zhao Feng's mark of the God Eye on him, so Zhao Feng was able to accurately sense his location. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng and Zhao Wang passed by each other in the Dark Ghost Clan, and they smiled at each other. Zhao Wang followed Zhao Feng's plan and went out for a while. When he returned to the clan, he said that he had obtained great fortune and was able to break through quickly. He was now a peak-tier king, but Zhao Wang's soul intent had reached the level of a quasi-sacred lord. Zhao Wang possessed the Eyes of Death. Although he did not reveal it, the Eyes of Death allowed him to cultivate the death chi of the ghost, Tao, very smoothly. Currently, some of the Nether Ghost sect's peak Great Emperor Realm elders might not be a match for Zhao Wang. Zhao Feng soon arrived at a valley surrounded by ghostly aura. Wang, Zhao Feng instantly circulated his sacred lightning body, and golden sacred lightning flashed across his body. A layer of dark yellow lightning appeared on his body, and an invisible physical force enveloped heaven and earth. Pung! Zhao Feng punched through the array in front of the valley and charged in. Who's there? The elder in seclusion within the valley instantly woke up. Tribulation, lightning, eye flame. Zhao Feng immediately used his killing move without saying anything else. Boom! A ball of twisted tribulation, lightning imprints burned like flames. It carried a terrifying soul aura as it bombarded the old man's soul. Arg, it's you. The gray-haired old man let out a shrill scream. Who? In just a short while, the elder soul was completely destroyed by the power of God Tribulation Lightning. One had to know that Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the late stages of the Mystic Light Realm, and even Sacred King Feather Spirit had lost to Zhao Feng's Tribulation Lightning Eye Flame. How could a measly initial stage Sacred Lord block Zhao Feng's Tribulation Lightning Eye Bloodline technique? The entire Dark Ghost Clan started to shake as the Grand Elder of the Dark Ghost Clan died. Who dares to enter the forbidden area of the Dark Ghost Clan? How dare you? Don't you know that the Dark Ghost Clan is one of the biggest subordinate forces of Nine Darkness Palace? Some emperors within the Dark Ghost Clan roared as they spread out their divine senses. However, after killing the Grand Elder of the Dark Ghost Clan, Zhao Feng used the misty spatial world to teleport away. Zhao Feng's figure slowly appeared outside a certain central spiritual palace in the continent zone. I'll leave the rest to you. Zhao Feng smiled and said. Everything Zhao Feng did was to pave the way for Zhao Wang. Now that the Grand Elder of the Dark Ghost Clan had died, the upper echelon of Nine Darkness Palace would be gathered on the battlefield and wouldn't be able to manage it. Therefore, the Dark Ghost Clan would definitely choose a new Grand Elder and a new group of elders. After leaving everything to Zhao Wang, Zhao Feng used the misty spatial world to quickly head toward the Lan province battlefield. Several days later, whoosh! Zhao Feng's figure suddenly appeared near a city on the Lan province battlefield. But at this moment, this city was extremely empty. But now, the city was very empty. Most of the experts who used to live here had already gone underground on the battlefield. Boom! A demonic purple and blood-colored figure suddenly rushed out from somewhere in the city. A terrifying and domineering evil energy caused many experts in the city to tremble in fear. I thought that you wouldn't come. Nan Gongsheng inspected Zhao Feng with interest. Although he knew that Zhao Feng had the misty spatial world and that it would be extremely easy for him to get here, the secret treasury below the battlefield was extremely dangerous. Normal initial stage mystic light realm and early stage sacred lords wouldn't even dare to enter. On the other hand, Zhao Feng had a feud with Nine Darkness Palace. If he met a sacred king or a demigod from Nine Darkness Palace, he would definitely die. Your strength. Nan Gongsheng's eyebrows furrowed. Zhao Feng's strength didn't seem to have improved much. Brother Feng, take me with you. Zhao Yufei's voice sounded at this moment. The heaven-earth yuan qi suddenly shook, and a purple figure flashed next to Zhao Feng. A terrifying bloodline pressure instantly spread. At this moment, Zhao Yufei was already at the early stages of the mystic light realm. Her skin glittered with a purple light, and she seemed like a noble goddess of ice and jade. Even someone as strong as Nan Gongsheng felt the sacred power and bloodline within his body tremble. Yufei's strength. Zhao Feng was surprised. He didn't expect that the small amount of resources he had given to Zhao Yufei would cause Zhao Yufei's strength to change so much. As expected of the spiritual race bloodline, Nan Gongsheng obviously knew that Zhao Yufei had the spiritual race bloodline. However, Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline was able to give him such a terrifying pressure. From this, one could see that the density of Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline seemed to have increased again. If the two of you were included, then that would be more like it. Nan Gongsheng had a cold expression as he said casually. He was slightly disappointed that Zhao Feng hadn't broken through, but he placed a lot of importance on Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline. Then let's go. Zhao Feng didn't say anything else. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The three of them left. A giant abyss that was 10,000 miles wide slowly appeared on the ground in the distance. Countless experts gathered near the abyss. Most of them were kings and emperors, but there were also many initial stage mystic light realm sacred lords. The spectators on the other side of the abyss were all non-humans. That's Zhao Yufei, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Feng. The purple-haired demonic duo are teaming up again. This Zhao Feng really doesn't know what's good for him. He's just at the initial stage mystic light realm, but he wants to steal the treasures underground. The experts near the abyss were either stunned or mocking. In a certain place, a male in black armor immediately sent a message through a special teleportation treasure when he saw Zhao Feng appear. Senior Feather Spirit, Zhao Feng is here. There is also an elder in black robes surrounded by demonic aura. A jade talisman suddenly appeared in his hand, and he disappeared into the air. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Zhao Feng, Zhao Yufei, and Nan Gongsheng charged into the abyss and went underground. Wang, a faint golden ripple spread across Zhao Feng's left eye. The power of the god realm hasn't disappeared yet. The experts of both Lord dynasties are still waiting underground. Zhao Feng's gaze could see through everything. There were many experts from both Lord dynasties near the god corpse. Most of these experts were led by a force, and they were gathered together. The forces that could stay underground were almost all-powerful and powerful forces in the continent zone. Chapter 1075. So that's how it is. Zhao Feng used the see-through ability of his left eye to inspect the situation underground, and he soon obtained some information. Most of the experts in the depths of the underground were led by a powerful force and gathered together. Apart from their own members, these underground forces would also take in other experts. Some normal early-stage mystic light realm and late-stage sacred lords didn't dare to explore the underground by themselves, so they temporarily joined a powerful force or sect in the Lord dynasty to seek protection. At the same time, these powerful forces and sects would take an expert from outside and expand their overall strength in order to obtain more benefits. Apart from that, There were also some solo cultivators or temporary groups of sacred lords. Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei were a temporary group. Nan Gongsheng had reached the late stages of the mystic light realm and hadn't consolidated his strength yet, but he definitely had the ability to fight against a sacred king. Although Zhao Yufei was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, she had the bloodline of the spiritual race, and her battle power wasn't any weaker than Nan Gongsheng's when they fought in the God Corps. Therefore, the battle power of Zhao Feng's group of 3 was very strong. As long as they didn't meet a group of demigods, there wouldn't be any accidents. It was because of this that Zhao Feng was able to let Zhao Yufei come along. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had another hidden card, demigod Kuan Yin. Zhao Feng could roughly sense Kuan Yun's location through the square token in his hand. He believed that Kuan Yun's strength should have increased by quite a bit after such a long time. Come with me. Zhao Feng circulated his mystic light, sacred power that contained the earth of wind lightning and wrapped around Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongsheng. They then entered a cliff on the side of the abyss. Zhao Feng, you know how to escape through the earth now? Nan Gongsheng asked with surprise. Back in the divine illusion dimension, Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Feng couldn't do anything against the 1,000 Changes illusionary dragon and the blue serpent dragon. In the end, it was the little thieving cat that forced them out. Zhao Feng didn't reply to Nan Gongsheng. He just led the 2 of them underground. The forces of 9 Nether Palace aren't nearby. Zhao Feng secretly rejoiced. If the forces of the 9 Nether Palace were nearby, then Zhao Feng could only take a detour. In the end, Zhao Feng chose a place and stopped. I'll stay here for the time being and wait for the godly power to completely disappear before I take action, Zhao Feng said directly. Zhao Feng was very clear about what exactly was underground and how large the area that godly power covered. Zhao Yufei did not question Zhao Feng's words. She immediately entered her small world and began cultivating. At this time, Zhao Yufei was very close to the divine power. This was the best place for her to cultivate her spirit race bloodline. Although Nan Gongsheng had his doubts, he didn't say anything. Whoosh! Zhao Feng entered the misty spatial world directly. The little thieving cat was snoring next to the misty spatial world. Its gray fur gave off a weird light, and its body radiated a bloodline aura that made even Zhao Feng's heart shake. Could the little thieving cat have a bloodline from the 10,000 ancient races? Zhao Feng said in surprise. Zhao Feng was very knowledgeable, and he had interacted with the bloodlines of the 10,000 ancient races a lot. According to his guesses, if the little thieving cat had a bloodline of the 10,000 ancient races, then it would be ranked in the top 30 of the 10,000 ancient races. However, Zhao Feng was unable to determine what kind of bloodline the little thieving cat had just from his complicated and chaotic bloodline aura. Zhao Feng had many questions about the little thieving cat, and now there was one more. 2 substandard god crystals appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. There's still some time before the power of the divine power disappears. I need to break through to the early stages of the mystic light realm before that happens. Zhao Feng had a determined gaze as he circulated the 5 elemental wind lightning technique to absorb the pure energy within the substandard god crystals. Even though Zhao Feng was in a group with Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei, Zhao Feng still felt that it was too dangerous for him to explore the god corpse at the initial stages of the mystic light realm. At the same time, Zhao Feng sucked a substandard god slaying arrow into the dimension of his left eye and started to duplicate it. With Zhao Feng's current strength, the dark golden substandard god slaying arrow could severely injure sacred kings. Its power was comparable to the tribulation lightning eye flame that Zhao Feng unleashed with all of his god tribulation lightning symbols. However, how could Zhao Feng use up all of his god tribulation lightning symbols at once? Therefore, Zhao Feng needed to duplicate some substandard god slaying arrows. The power of the divine power underground started to weaken. Other than Zhao Feng's group of 3, the other sects, factions, and teams slowly ventured deeper as the heavenly divine energy weakened. The reason for that was because they didn't know exactly how deep underground the source of the godly energy was. At the center of the Grand Imperial Hall's territory, demigod Dragon Emperor held a dragon-headed golden staff and didn't move at all, but his terrifying aura shook everything within 10,000 miles. At the edge of the Grand Imperial Hall's territory, Sacred King Feather Spirit's eyes moved, and his intent entered his interspatial dimension. At this moment, an item within his interspatial dimension suddenly flashed with light. Sacred King Feather Spirit's intent moved and obtained the information within. He still dares to come here? Sacred King Feather Spirit revealed a mocking smile. Sacred King Shihai, that brat's here. If you can help me, I'll thank you greatly in the future. Sacred King Feather Spirit said to the blue-haired, middle-aged male next to him. The Grand Imperial Hall's forces were led by demigods and sacred kings, and they led the other members to explore the secret treasury. Sacred King Feather Spirit and Sacred King Shihai were in the same group. Sacred King Feather Spirit was the leader. Apart from the two Sacred Kings, there was also one late-stage Mystic Light Realm and two early-stage Mystic Light Realm. Such a terrifying group could destroy a 3-star superpower in the outside world. However, at this moment, Sacred King Feather Spirit's group wasn't even in the top 20. There's no need to thank me with our relationship, Sacred King Shihai said with a smile. The laws of water glittered around him and turned the dirt around him into water. It was as if his surroundings had turned into a world of ocean. On the other side of the underground, within a dense fog of demonic qi, reporting to the Grand Elder, we've confirmed that Zhao Feng has come underground. An early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord half-knelt and said respectfully. An illusory figure suddenly appeared in the thick mist of demon qi. Zhao Feng, he's here to die. Dark purple demonic flames flashed in the eyes of Demigod Dark Ocean, the Grand Elder of Nine Darkness Palace. All the upper echelon members of Nine Darkness Palace hated Zhao Feng to the bone. Ever since Nine Darkness Palace fought against Zhao Feng had slain countless experts of Nine Darkness Palace and devoured countless forces and resources of Nine Darkness Palace. He even used Nine Darkness Palace's fame to rise up quickly. Nine Darkness Palace obviously wouldn't endure such humiliation. Demigod Dark Ocean was originally planning to personally deal with this matter after he finished exploring the secret tomb underground. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to deliver himself to them. Kill Zhao Feng if you see him. Demigod Dark Ocean's voice sounded within the demonic mist. Understood. Some of the captains with powerful auras within the demonic mist replied. Somewhere in the underground, a man whose entire body was covered in black dragon scales stood together with an ordinary-looking white-clothed woman. As expected of the eyes of destiny, the experts of the other forces won't be able to sense my existence, even if I hide here. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon laughed savagely. The place where the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was hiding was far away from the forces of both Lord Dynasties. A surge of profound soul power suddenly appeared from Bai Lin's pale white eyes and formed an abstract picture. I can't predict anything about Zhao Feng. Bai Lin sighed as her pale white eyes spun. At a certain moment, the picture changed and formed a wicked purple and blood-colored figure. The surroundings started to blur. Our target is the head of the God Corpse. We will meet Zhao Feng there, Bai Lin said faintly. Since she couldn't predict what Zhao Feng would do, she could only predict what would happen to the people related to Zhao Feng. The head of the God Corpse? The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes flashed. Even if Bai Lin didn't say that, its final target was the head of the God Corpse. Prepare to enter, Bai Lin suddenly said. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's body shook. In the next instant, the destructive, godly power in the depths of the earth had completely dissipated. Who? The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon took Bai Lin into its little world and charged downward. What appeared in front of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was a white crystal. The combination of the divine body and divine power. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon immediately understood the state of the god corpse. Those at the true god realm had an undying divine body, and the combination of the divine body and divine power was even more monstrous. Now that the god corpse had combined with divine power, its entire body had turned into crystal. It could be said to be indestructible. Even if all the demigods of the continent zone teamed up, they probably wouldn't be able to destroy it. A gap? The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes focused, and it admired the eyes of destiny even more. The god corpse was extremely big, and it was extremely hard to find a gap. However, there was a small gap right in front of the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. All of this was definitely within the control of the eyes of destiny. Who? The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon entered through a gap on the surface of the god corpse. Deep underground. When the divine power completely dissipated, the god's corpse was completely exposed to everyone's eyes. It's a god corpse? Demigod Dragon Emperor's eyes paused. Such an enormous god corpse. Just what kind of strength did this person possess when he was alive? And why would his body appear here? Grand Emperor Song's divine sense scanned over the enormous god corpse, and his heart was filled with shock. Boom! Who? Immediately, all the forces of the two dynasties moved and charged toward the enormous crystallized god corpse. Pung! A sacred king unleashed a bolt of destructive red lightning, but it didn't leave any marks on the surface of the god corpse. It's completely unharmed. The sacred king was stunned, but there was nothing he could do. He could only lead his group to find another entrance. On the other side of the underground, Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng revealed a bloodthirsty and enraged expression as he roared. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's figure instantly appeared next to him, and he revealed a faint smile. Brother Feng, you broke through. Zhao Yufei congratulated as she sensed the change in Zhao Feng's aura. That's right. Zhao Feng forced a smile. Zhao Feng had broken through to the early stages of the mystic light realm at the last moment, but no one knew how many resources and substandard god crystals Zhao Feng had used during this period of time. Zhao Feng circulated his mystic light sacred power, which contained the earth of wind lightning, and charged downward with the two of them. This is a god corpse. Zhao Feng didn't try to hide it and said, whoosh! Zhao Feng and company entered the god corpse through the hole in the surface of the god corpse. How can there be such a coincidence? There's an entrance right below us. Nangongxing's gaze became grim. He once more sensed Zhao Feng's unfathomable mysteriousness. That unsurpassable feeling suddenly assailed him. Chapter 1076. When the three entered the body of the god corpse, they felt a surge of heaven, earth, yuan, qi rush into their noses. Everyone felt extremely comfortable, and the mystic light, sacred power within their bodies flowed even faster as their sacred bodies automatically absorbed the heaven-earth yuan qi nearby. If we cultivate here, our cultivation speed will be at least 10 times faster than in the outside world. Zhao Feng said in surprise. The heaven-earth yuan qi within the god corpse was extremely dense. It wasn't something that the outside world could compare to. Furthermore, the god corpse was filled with a solemn and dignified aura, and one could sense many laws and intents more clearly. It was the best place to cultivate. Wang, as Zhao Yufei walked, the surrounding heaven and earth spiritual energy surged like amethyst fragments, as if they were worshipping her. They surrounded Zhao Yufei, and a wave of heaven and earth spiritual energy quickly merged into her body. I don't even need to cultivate here. The speed at which I absorb heaven-earth yuan qi is the same as when I'm cultivating in seclusion in the outside world. Zhao Yufei's face was filled with shock and disbelief. The expressions of Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Feng froze as they stared at Zhao Yufei with gaping mouths. She could reach the same speed as when she was cultivating in seclusion in the outside world without cultivating? One had to know that even Zhao Feng's cultivation speed using substandard god crystals wasn't as fast as Zhang Yufei's. However, at this moment, Zhao Yufei's cultivation speed was far faster than Zhao Feng's when he was absorbing the surrounding heaven-earth yuan qi using substandard god crystals. Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Feng had to admit that they had underestimated Zhao Yufei's bloodline. The bloodline of the top 20 of the 10,000 ancient races wasn't as simple as they thought. Yufei, why don't you stay here and focus on cultivating? Zhao Feng suggested. This god corpse was the best place for those with the spiritual race bloodline to cultivate. Every inch of the crystal walls contained heaven-earth yuan qi that surpassed substandard god crystals. Many places had heaven-earth yuan qi that was equivalent to real god crystals. This meant that the entire god corpse was equivalent to a substandard god crystal that was tens of millions of yards long. However, the structure of this god corpse was extremely complete, and it was unbelievably tough. It was impossible to destroy it. However, the bloodline of the spirit tribe allowed her to absorb the essence of the world within the god's corpse very quickly. If Zhao Yufei stayed here and focused on cultivating, it wouldn't take long for her to reach the god realm. No, I want to explore the true opportunities in the immortal corpse with Brother Feng. Zhao Yufei immediately refused. If she stayed here alone, it would be much more dangerous for Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Feng to explore the god corpse. Moreover, Zhao Yufei's original intention of exploring the sacred remains was not for the opportunities inside. All right, let's go. Zhao Feng's heart skipped a beat. Compared to the essence of the world contained in the god corpses, there should be even more precious treasures hidden inside them. The wicked aura within Nan Gongsheng's body became stronger and stronger. It was obvious that the treasures that might exist in the god corpse had stimulated the growth of his evil thoughts. Meow meow. At this moment, the little thieving cat appeared on Zhao Feng's shoulder and threw out a few bronze coins. It then waved its paw and pointed in a direction. Let's go. Zhao Feng knew that the little thieving cat wouldn't be asleep at this time. Before moving, Zhao Feng waved his arm guard and left behind a spatial coordinate. Whoosh! The trio immediately flew in the direction that the little thieving cat pointed, but they stopped before they could get very far. What's this? Zhao Feng moved closer to the crystal wall. In the corner of the wall, there was a blood crystal spiritual mushroom. Powerful heaven-earth yuan qi and the aura of an ancient bloodline. Zhao Yufei sniffed and immediately said, could it be that a wisp of the god corpse's weak bloodline aura combined with divine power to form a treasure? Zhao Feng slowly guessed. This crystal-like, blood-colored lingji wasn't connected to the god corpse. It was as if it was something that grew later. The crystal-like lingji was similar to the sky water crystal lotus that Zhao Feng once obtained. It was a treasure that crossed plant-type and metal-type treasures. However, the crystal-like lingji in front of them was undoubtedly more valuable. It contained a powerful ancient bloodline aura, dense heaven-earth yuan qi, and the intents of wood and water. Furthermore, the amount of heaven-earth yuan qi and ancient aura contained within this crystal-like lingji was even more abundant than the resources in Zhao Feng's ancient dream realm. Without saying anything else, Zhao Feng put this resource into the misty spatial world. After taking away the crystal-like lingji, Zhao Feng found that the divine power and heaven-earth yuan qi contained within the crystal wall was the same as a god crystal. Unfortunately, they weren't able to take it away. Greed flashed through Nan Gongsheng's eyes, but he resisted the urge to take it. Before entering the god corpse, everyone had a discussion. The fortune within the god corpse depended on their own strength. Whoever obtained it first would get it. There's more over there. Nan Gongsheng glanced at the wall not far away and immediately flew over to take away a crystal-like herb. Nan Gongsheng's words caused Zhao Feng's gaze to move away from the wall. Are these just normal herbs in the god corpse? Zhao Feng's expression froze, and he felt slightly awkward. It seemed like the blood crystal lingji that he was so interested in was just a normal herb in the god corpse. What kind of terrifying existence was this god corpse when it was alive? Nan Gongsheng took in a cold breath and revealed a fearful expression. From the looks of it, The fortune within the god corpse might be even more tempting than the ancient god's mysterious palace in the divine illusion dimension. I can't tell either. The evil god mental thought body's voice sounded from within Nan Gongxing's body. He was only an evil god mental thought body, so he didn't have the complete memories of ancient god Xieyong. Forget about that. Let's continue. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. Although the precious materials that could be seen everywhere along the way were extremely tempting, the crowd still resisted the urge to pluck them. How could they waste time on these ordinary, precious materials? Watch out. Zhao Yufei felt a disturbance of Yuan Qi and immediately said, Wang. A furious roar accompanied by a terrifying aura bombarded the crowd. A blood-colored figure charged out from the fork in the road ahead. The blood-colored figure had the shape of a human, but it didn't have any facial features. Its body seemed to be formed from pure heaven and earth energy and laws. This is a Yao spirit formed from the power of the god corpse. Zhao Feng's left, I soon came to a conclusion after seeing through the blood-colored crystalline figure. If the god corpse could form all these precious herbs, then it could naturally form a Yao spirit with its own consciousness. The reason why Zhao Yufei sensed the blood crystal Yao spirit before Zhao Feng was because the blood crystal Yao spirit's body was mostly made up of heaven and earth energy and divine power. This was why Zhao Yufei's spiritual race bloodline was able to sense it first. The blood crystal Yao spirit's body was extremely agile, and it thrust out a palm. Boom! The laws of heaven and earth and the power of heaven and earth were controlled by it and condensed into a blood-colored palm that crushed toward them with terrifying force. What power! Nan Gongxing's expression became grim as a purple and blood-colored divine light surrounded his body and condensed into a demonic claw covered in purple and blood-colored patterns that he thrust out. Boom! Pung! Pung! Nan Gongxing's blood boiled as the two attacks clashed, and he retreated several steps. An attack that surpasses normal sacred kings. Zhao Feng's eyes focused. Danger and fortune existed together. There were treasures everywhere in the god corpse, and any one of them could cause sacred kings in the outside world to go crazy. The danger within the god corpse wasn't something a normal mystic light realm sacred lord could deal with. From Nan Gongxing's exchange with the blood crystal Yao spirit just now, Zhao Feng could see the terrifying strength of the blood crystal Yao spirit. The trio had to admit that they had underestimated the god corpse, the fortune and danger within. Boom! 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 Zhao Yufei and Zhao Feng immediately went forward. Zhao Yufei's hand, that didn't seem like a human's, gently moved, and the heaven-earth Yuan Qi within the god corpse started to stir. It turned into a purple crystal storm that swept toward the blood crystal Yao spirit. Wind lightning eye flame. A surge of eye bloodline flames surged from Zhao Feng's left eye, and wisps of dark purple god tribulation lightning flashed across it. Boom! A ball of transparent purple and gold lightning fire with the aura of god tribulation lightning exploded on the blood crystal Yao spirit's body. The blood crystal Yao spirit was instantly at a disadvantage when facing the attacks of Zhao Feng and company. Zhao Feng's wind lightning eye flame dealt the most damage to the blood crystal Yao spirit. The blood crystal Yao spirit was a Yao spirit that was born within the god corpse. Its physical power was extremely strong, and its attacks even contained a wisp of profound intent. However, its soul was its fatal weakness. Whoosh! Seeing that it wasn't their match, the blood crystal Yao spirit immediately ran away. Zhao Feng and company chased after it, but they didn't immediately kill the blood crystal Yao spirit. Instead, they followed it closely. Zhao Feng believed that a place that could give birth to a blood crystal Yao spirit would definitely be different. The group soon arrived at the entrance of a crystal cave. Everyone watch out! Zhao Feng immediately warned. The crystal nearby was faintly red, and it flashed with a faint blood-colored light. It was completely different from the crystal walls around them. Whoosh! The blood crystal Yao spirit charged into the cave. 1. A few terrifying roars could be heard from the cave as a terrifying atavistic bloodline aura, accompanied by a powerful saint energy ripple, spread out from the cave. Whoosh, whoosh. 3 blood crystal Yao spirits leapt out from the cave. 2 of them were human-shaped, and the last one was enormous and seemed to be a dog-type beast. 1 for each of us. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. Just to my liking. Nan Gongsheng revealed a cold and bloodthirsty smile as a terrifying purple and blood-colored sacred light radiated from his body. From Nan Gongsheng's point of view, this was a battle between him and Zhao Feng. If he could finish off one of the blood crystal monsters first, it meant that he surpassed Zhao Feng and could enter the cave first. Zhao Yufei gave a smile and agreed. Boom! The 3 of them attacked at the same time. Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei charged toward the 2 human-shaped blood crystal Yao spirits, while Zhao Feng could only face the beast-shaped blood crystal Yao spirit. The experts of both lore dynasties found treasures that made them go crazy, and different levels of intense battles occurred in various parts of the God Corpse. Some sacred lords that didn't want to explore the God Corpse carefully approached it as well. So it's a God Corpse. I won't go in and just cultivate outside. There should be no problem. An initial stage mystic light realm sacred lord sat next to the crystallized God Corpse and started to absorb the pure heaven-earth yuan qi to cultivate. Some initial stage mystic light realm sacred lords and quasi-sacred lords entered the ground out of curiosity. I'm too late. An elder in gray revealed a faint smile as he approached the God Corpse. A circle of black lines slowly appeared in the elder's dim eyes, and a terrifying eye bloodline power surged from it. If I can find a chance to break through to the heavenly divine realm here, I'll let her live. Chapter 1077. Within the God Corpse, Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei each faced a blood crystal Yao spirit. Evil Devil Claw. Nan Gongsheng extended his right arm, and the blood-red patterns on it started to quickly climb up his arm. Countless blood-red patterns formed an invisible demonic claw that ripped forward with terrifying power. This time, Nan Gongsheng put away his underestimation and went all out. Boom! The human-shaped blood crystal Yao spirit's attack was instantly shattered by Nan Gongsheng's claw. Human, you're courting death. The blood crystal Yao spirit sensed the evil power within Nan Gongsheng's body, and a surge of bloodline power suddenly appeared from the center of the blood crystal Yao spirit's body, causing it to become even more fiery red. Nan Gongsheng, the ancient bloodline aura within this blood crystal Yao spirit, is even thicker. The evil god mental thought body's voice sounded within Nan Gongsheng's body. Nan Gongsheng obviously understood what the evil god mental thought body meant. Although the ancient bloodline of this god corpse was extremely weak, it was still very useful to him. Furthermore, even the evil god mental thought body wasn't able to estimate what level this god corpse was at when it was alive. Back then, just a drop of demigod Kun Yun's normal blood was enough to make many geniuses of the true martial sacred land fight over it. On the other side, Zhao Yufei easily fought against the blood crystal Yao spirit. The spiritual race bloodline's endurance was extremely strong, and in this environment, Zhao Yufei's power was endless. However, what Zhao Yufei lacked was explosive power and a critical strike. The blood crystal Yao spirit was unable to injure Zhao Yufei, and Zhao Yufei wouldn't be able to finish off the blood crystal Yao spirit in a short amount of time. Wind, lightning, eye flame. A purple and gold flame appeared from Zhao Feng's left eye, and it flashed with dark purple God Tribulation lightning symbols. Boom! A ball of transparent purple and gold lightning fire with the aura of God Tribulation lightning exploded on the blood crystal Yao spirit's body. This time, Zhao Feng didn't dare to slack off while fighting a blood crystal Yao spirit by himself. He immediately used a soul eye bloodline technique. Physical Force Lightning Domain. A dark yellow lightning domain was released from Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body. Even someone as strong as the blood crystal demon spirit was suppressed by Zhao Feng's domain. Meow meow. The little thieving cat held the Shadow Kill Imperial Dagger in one hand and the dark golden dragon snake whip in the other to help its owner attract the blood crystal Yao spirit's attention and occasionally attack it. Holy lightning, dominating fist. Sky-crushing, sacred lightning palm. Zhao Feng executed the lightning wings flying escape technique. Within a limited space, he controlled his speed and constantly attacked the blood crystal demon spirit. After breaking through to the early stages of the mystic light realm, Zhao Feng's mystic light sacred power became even stronger. Furthermore, Zhao Feng's mystic light sacred power could switch between the earth of wind lightning sacred power and the fire of wind lightning sacred power to control and attack. On the other side, Nan Gongsheng, who was fighting with the blood crystal demon spirit, observed the situation of Zhao Feng's battle. His strength. Nan Gongsheng's expression became grim. Although the blood crystal demon spirit soul was weak and was countered by Zhao Feng, the blood crystal demon spirit soul was weak. However, the power that Zhao Feng was displaying now was almost at the level of a holy king. Zhao Feng, I'll go in first. A wisp of blinding purple light instantly appeared from Nan Gongsheng's body. It radiated a desolate aura that caused the nearby heaven-earth Yuan Qi to tremble. Power of God. Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed. At this moment, in order to defeat him, Nan Gongsheng actually used a sliver of divine power that he couldn't control. After using divine power, Nan Gongsheng wouldn't even need to fear a Saint King expert, let alone a blood crystal demon spirit that could only use the strength of a Saint King. Tribulation, lightning, eye flame. Zhao Feng's left eye instantly flashed with countless arcs of white lightning, and the intent of soul destruction surged with powerful soul fluctuations. Being the captain of this group, Zhao Feng obviously couldn't be suppressed by Nan Gongsheng, or else Nan Gongsheng would only become more arrogant. Therefore, Zhao Feng condensed a certain amount of God Tribulation lightning symbols and unleashed a killing eye bloodline technique. Boom! A ball of twisting God Tribulation lightning symbols flickered like flames, and it contained a terrifying soul aura as it landed on the blood crystal demon spirit soul. Plop! The soul intent of the blood crystal demon spirit was originally very weak, so it didn't even last a breath before being destroyed by the God Tribulation lightning symbols. Shua! Zhao Feng put the blood crystal demon spirit's body into the misty spatial world and entered the crystal cave. Ow! Nan Gongsheng's expression changed dramatically as he killed the blood crystal demon spirit in front of him and put its body away. However, in terms of speed, Nan Gongsheng was slightly slower than Zhao Feng. On the other side, Zhao Yufei also used some secret bloodline techniques to kill the blood crystal demon spirit. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. The three of them charged into the cave. Zhao Feng was the fastest, so he was the first to enter. The cave wasn't very big, and the surrounding walls weren't completely crystallized. Instead, they seemed to be made of some sort of colloidal substance that undulated slightly. At the center of the cave was a very small pond of blood that contained abnormally thick blood-colored liquid. At this moment, the blood crystal demon spirit that Zhao Feng and company had injured was currently in the pond of blood, as if it was recovering. There was another blood crystal demon spirit at the edge of the pond that hadn't fully grown yet. What a terrifying ancient bloodline aura! Zhao Feng was shocked as he sensed the aura within the pond. Zhao Feng had also taken the blood of the sky, fire, lightning ape in the ancient dream realm, but its bloodline aura and pressure were completely negligible in comparison to this. Go! Zhao Feng immediately approached the pond and moved the liquid into the misty spatial world. At the same time, the little thieving cat jumped into the pond and started to suck. Although Zhao Feng had arrived first, he didn't take any more after taking a certain amount. This is... Zhao Feng took a round, blood-colored crystal bead from the bottom of the pond. Zhao Feng's gaze then landed on the blood crystal demon spirit that hadn't fully grown yet. Whoosh! Zhao Feng also put the blood crystal demon spirit that hadn't fully grown into the misty spatial world. How dare you steal the blood of God? The other injured blood crystal demon spirit in the pond was enraged and started to attack Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng took some of the spoils and retreated to the back. Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei charged forward and killed the injured blood crystal demon spirit. The remaining 50% of the blood-colored liquid in the pond was split between the two of them. Could this be the blood of the god corpse? Nan Gongsheng's eyes twinkled. Impossible. We can't even get close to the true blood of the god corpse. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. Zhao Feng's estimate of the strength of the god corpse when it was alive continued to rise. The blood in the pond either contained a bit of bloodline aura or was formed from a drop of the god corpse's blood. Even if there was a drop of the god corpse's blood in the pond, the power within it would have split after who knew how many years. For example, the blood crystal demon spirits were products of the pond. Although that was the case, the blood in the pond couldn't be weak if it could give birth to such a terrifying Yao spirit. Not good. Someone's coming. Zhao Feng's left eye saw through the crystal wall and saw a figure. Blood of the god corpse. All of a sudden, 5 figures of foreign races flew over at high speed. So it's a human. Following that, a mocking voice was heard. Any crystal within the god corpse would be able to block divine sense. Therefore, mystic light realm sacred lords could only rely on their eyes to see what was going on in the cave. Boom! Several terrifying surges of laws and intense blocked Zhao Feng and company, who were about to charge out of the cave. Zhao Feng, a non-human elephant man, exclaimed in joy. The eyes of Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei became grim as they inspected the 5 in front of them. Sacred Lord myriad forms. Zhao Feng and company all recognized this Sacred Lord of the Elephant Man race. Apart from Sacred Lord myriad forms, who was at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, there was another non-human at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm, a late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord, and the 2 strongest Sacred Kings in the group. Lord Black Poison, Lord Purple Poison. These 3 are prodigies of the Great Gone Lord dynasty. That female is Zhao Yufei, and the male with purple and blood-colored hair has the power of the evil god. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms immediately said respectfully to the 2 non-human Sacred Kings next to him. Everyone from the Dark Moon Lord dynasty knew about Zhao Yufei. Nan Gongsheng's achievements on the battlefield were also known by the non-humans. Kill them all. Sacred King Black Poison from the Snake Men race had a cold expression as he said casually, 3 Sacred Lords dare to team up and enter the God Corpse? The late-stage Mystic Light Realm non-human Sacred Lord snickered. Furthermore, Zhao Yufei and Zhao Feng were both at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm. They really don't know what's good for them. They dare to come in without a Sacred King leading them? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms roared with laughter. He could finally take revenge for what happened back then. One had to know that even if a Sacred King was present in a group, it wasn't completely safe. After all the demigods of both Lord dynasties had entered the God Corpse as well. The 2 of you take care of these 2 Sacred Kings. I'll take care of Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other 2 Sacred Lords. Right as the 5 non-humans were mocking Zhao Feng and company, Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei had come up with a plan. The strength of these 2 Sacred Kings was obviously much stronger than the blood crystal Yao spirit from earlier. However, Nan Gongsheng had the power of the evil god, so it wasn't a problem for him to stall a Sacred King. Zhao Yufei had the bloodline of the spiritual race, which was ranked 19th among the 10,000 ancient races. She had a strong foundation and strong defense, and she was like a tiger with wings in the God Corpse where the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi was extremely dense. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Before the non-human group could attack, Zhao Feng and company moved. What? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was just about to torture the 3 in front of him, but he didn't expect Zhao Feng to charge toward him. Wang, a dark yellow domain of lightning appeared from Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body and covered Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other two sacred lords. After breaking through to the early stages of the mystic light realm, normal early-stage mystic light realm sacred lords felt as if they were carrying a mountain on their back when facing Zhao Feng's physical force of lightning. Sacred Lord myriad forms and the other late-stage mystic light realm sacred lords fared slightly better. How is this possible? Your strength. Sacred Lord myriad forms was stunned and filled with disbelief. He had fought against Zhao Feng a few years ago, and Zhao Feng only had a slight advantage at that time. However, Zhao Feng was so strong when facing three mystic light realm sacred lords at the same time. Kill him. Sacred Lord myriad forms said to the late-stage mystic light realm non-human sacred lord next to him. After consolidating his strength, Sacred Lord myriad forms also had the battle power of a late-stage sacred lord. He believed that the two late-stage sacred lords would be able to kill Zhao Feng if they teamed up. Moreover, there were two Saint Kings with terrifying abilities in their team. Chapter 1078. Let's team up and kill him. Sacred Lord myriad forms said to the late-stage mystic light realm non-human sacred lord next to him. The battle power of the other early-stage mystic light realm non-human sacred lord was suppressed by at least 50% by Zhao Feng's physical force of lightning, so Sacred Lord myriad forms ignored him. Sure, the large non-human with red fur glared at Zhao Feng. Although the human in front of him was only at the initial stages of the mystic light realm, the pressure he felt was extremely heavy. However, he wasn't worried about teaming up with Sacred Lord myriad forms. Sacred Lord myriad forms had the eyes of myriad forms, and his true strength was probably even higher than normal late-stage mystic light realm sacred lords. Myriad forms world of fire. Sacred Lord myriad forms eyes focused, and the heaven-earth yuan qi nearby was instantly controlled by him and turned into the element of fire. The temperature of the surroundings started to rise, and a wave of fire surrounded Zhao Feng. The non-human with red hair roared as he waved his fists. A layer of scarlet red flames covered his fists, and he was like a giant flaming beast. Heaven and earth flaming dragon. A scarlet blood-colored flaming dragon surrounded the non-human sacred lord's body and instantly crushed toward Zhao Feng. The scarlet-colored flames that covered heaven and earth were unable to do any damage to the barrier around him. I can also absorb the element of fire. Zhao Feng laughed coldly as he activated his perfect blood devil sun bloodline. Wong boom. A glass-like flame appeared around Zhao Feng's body, and a scorching and terrifying aura spread out. At the same time, the nearby fire elemental power quickly entered Zhao Feng's body. Sacred lightning dominating fist. Zhao Feng merged the fire of wind lightning and the sacred lightning body together and unleashed a ball of scorching lightning that clashed with the red-haired non-human sacred lord. The red-haired non-human sacred lord only cultivated a fire elemental technique, but not only did Zhao Feng's 5 elemental wind lightning technique contain the element of fire, he also had a fire elemental bloodline. Therefore, Sacred Lord myriad forms world of fire buffed Zhao Feng even more. Boom! The red-haired non-human sacred lord was instantly pushed back by Zhao Feng's burst of power, and he slammed into the crystal wall behind him. A scarlet blood-colored glass-like flame burned around his body, and it continued to corrode him. How could that be? This human brat's strength. The red-haired, non-human sacred lord was stunned. He couldn't believe that he had been defeated so easily by an early-stage mystic light realm sacred lord. Xiao xiao xiao. Just as the red-haired, non-human sacred lord was sent flying, several thousand golden swords stabbed toward Zhao Feng from the wave of fire. Sharp metal sword. The rainbow-colored symbol in Sacred Lord myriad forms left, I slowly stopped. On the other side, the early-stage mystic light realm sacred lord retreated and unleashed a powerful long-range attack at Zhao Feng. Meow meow. The little thieving cat listened to Zhao Feng's will and waved the dark golden dragon snake whip toward the non-human sacred lord. Sacred Lord myriad forms. You're still using these little tricks against me? Zhao Feng could not help but sneer. Wang, the earth of wind lightning sacred power and the sacred lightning physical force around Zhao Feng started to twist together and form a dark yellow barrier of wind lightning. Whoosh! The thousands of swords of sharp metal stabbed into Zhao Feng's sacred lightning protection, but they were stopped after piercing half an inch into it. Crack! The wind lightning barrier around Zhao Feng released a flash of dark golden lightning that shattered the golden sword lights. At the same time, a portion of the earth of wind lightning sacred power shot towards Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Wang, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes focused as a shield of wind lightning appeared in front of him and blocked the damage from Zhao Feng's sacred lightning protection. Your cultivation has increased so quickly. How can you still have battle power of this level? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes focused as he stared at Zhao Feng. When Sacred Lord Myriad Forms first fought with Zhao Feng was only a quasi-sacred lord. After a few years, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' cultivation hadn't increased at all, but Zhao Feng had reached the early stages of the mystic light realm. Furthermore, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms originally thought that Zhao Feng had forcefully increased his cultivation to the early stages of the mystic light realm in order to explore the fortune here. However, even he was slightly afraid of the power that Zhao Feng displayed now. What's with all the bullshit? Zhao Feng laughed coldly as he released the projection of his little world of wind lightning and the physical force lightning domain towards Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Zhao Feng's cultivation had indeed increased very quickly, but no one knew how many precious resources and substandard god crystals Zhao Feng had used in order to increase his cultivation. At this moment, Zhao Feng's cultivation was the same as Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. In terms of physical attacks, Zhao Feng wasn't scared of Sacred Lord Myriad Forms at all. In terms of the soul, Zhao Feng completely suppressed Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Lord Black Poison, Lord Purple Poison. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was about to ask for help from the two Sacred Kings in the group when he saw how strong Zhao Feng was. But when he looked to the side, he was stunned again. The two Sacred Kings of the Snakemen race were on par with Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei. They were on par with each other. On the other side, the early stage Sacred Lord was completely suppressed by the little thieving cat and couldn't fight back at all. Wind Lightning Eye Flame. Zhao Feng circulated his left eye and unleashed an eye bloodline technique, while Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was distracted. Boom! A purple and gold lightning fire instantly exploded in Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' head. With Zhao Feng's late-stage mystic light realm soul intent, just one wind lightning eye flame was enough to deal with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Forbidden Illusion, Lost World. Zhao Feng used the Tao of Illusions once more. In an instant, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes were attracted by Zhao Feng's left eye and fell into a limitless maze of illusions. I'll be taking the eyes of Myriad Forms. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. At this moment, Zhao Feng could completely suppress Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and use his soul attack to kill him. However, if he did that, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' soul would be destroyed, and the eyes of Myriad Forms would disappear. Ever since he completed the second level of the soul-splitting technique, Zhao Feng had an idea. He wanted to merge a pair of eyes from the 8 great god eyes into his second clone. This was because the clone of a normal Sacred Lord would have a portion of the battle power of the main body after it was created. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's soul clone needed time to grow. However, if Zhao Feng merged the eyes from the 8 great god eyes into his clone, it would increase the speed at which his clone's strength increased. Zhao Feng estimated that if Zhao Wang didn't have the Eyes of Death, his cultivation speed would decrease by at least 60%. Therefore, Zhao Feng wanted to help his second clone obtain an inheritance from the 8 great god eyes in order to increase the speed at which his clone grew stronger. On the other hand, the comprehension and experience of his clone will be transferred to Zhao Feng's consciousness. If Zhao Feng's second clone had the Eyes of Myriad Forms, then Zhao Feng wouldn't need to worry about comprehending the 5 elements at all. This would be of great help to Zhao Feng's five-elemental wind lightning technique. However, right at this moment, the red-haired non-human sacred lord charged toward Zhao Feng. Wrath of the Fire Dragon. The red-haired non-human sacred lord released a bright scarlet-red mystic light sacred power that formed an invisible flaming dragon that crushed toward Zhao Feng. Roar! The flaming dragon spat out terrifying flames of sacred power that dyed the walls of the dimension red and gave off a scorching heat. What powerful fire elemental power! Zhao Feng's heart jumped. As expected, he couldn't underestimate any late-stage mystic light realm sacred lord. Sky-destroying sacred lightning palm. Zhao Feng's expression became grim as he circulated his mystic light sacred power and thrust out a giant scarlet golden palm of lightning. This non-human sacred lord had interrupted Zhao Feng at this critical moment, so he wouldn't show mercy. Boom! Pong! The two terrifying fire elemental powers clashed together. Crack! Zhao Feng's scarlet golden palm of lightning instantly exploded with dazzling scarlet golden lightning that shattered the flaming dragon. After destroying the flaming dragon, the remaining power of the sky destroying sacred lightning palm crushed toward the non-human sacred lord. Boom! This non-human sacred lord was slammed into the wall behind him by Zhao Feng's palm. Several cracks appeared on his sacred body, and a scorching blood-colored flame started to burn his wounds. Zhao Feng looked at Sacred Lord Myriad Forms once more after finishing off this Sacred Lord. Right at this moment, a weird light flashed through Sacred Lord Myriad Form's eyes. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms soon broke free from Zhao Feng's forbidden illusion lost world. He was covered in cold sweat as he looked at Zhao Feng in fear. Wang, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms used the intent of wind lightning to quickly retreat. He obviously knew that he had been trapped by Zhao Feng's illusion for a few breaths. If it wasn't for the fact that he had the eyes of Myriad Forms and his soul resistance was slightly stronger, he would have never woken up. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to not only increase his cultivation so quickly, but his soul intent hadn't fallen behind either. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms suddenly realized that with Zhao Feng's powerful soul intent, there was no need for him to spend so much effort to deal with him. Zhao Feng probably wanted something from him. Lord Black Poison, Lord Purple Poison, let's retreat. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms immediately messaged the two Sacred Kings. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms knew that he wasn't Zhao Feng's match anymore. What? The three of you? Sacred King Black Poison had a grim expression. He originally thought that Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei were the strongest of the three, and that Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other two Sacred Lord would be able to easily finish off Zhao Feng. However, in just a short while, the early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord was defeated by a little cat, and the late-stage Mystic Light Realm non-human Sacred Lord was severely injured by Zhao Feng. Let's go Purple Poison. Sacred King Black Poison's eyes spun as he messaged Sacred King Purple Poison. From the current situation, Zhao Feng's strength wasn't any weaker than Nan Gongsheng or Zhao Yufei. Once Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was defeated, the two of them would face the combined attacks of Zhao Feng and company. Damn it, these three humans. Sacred King Purple Poison had a hateful expression. They originally thought that they would easily win, but it became such a difficult battle. In the end, they had to retreat. Whoosh! The two Sacred Kings of the Snake Men race immediately used an escape technique and escaped with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. After them, Zhao Feng roared. He almost obtained the eyes of Myriad Forms just now. If he lost this chance, he didn't know if he would be able to meet Sacred Lord Myriad Forms in the future. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei immediately chased after them. The little thieving cat's dark golden dragon snake whip turned into a dark golden rope that wrapped around the two Sacred Lords and dragged them into the misty spatial world. Oomph! No one can catch up to me. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms revealed a smile. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms didn't have much confidence in escaping from Zhao Feng if he ran away alone, but it was different if he ran away with two sacred kings. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, eyes focused, and a rainbow-colored Myriad Forms, sacred power instantly appeared behind them. In the space, an extreme ice storm appeared out of nowhere. Ice Imperial Spear. A layer of ice-blue liquid appeared in the air and turned into a dark blue screen that covered Nangongsheng, Zhao Yufei, and Zhao Yufei as well. Who? Zhao Feng and company passed through the icy storm without any obstruction. Chapter 1079. Ice Imperial Spear. A layer of ice-blue liquid appeared in the air and turned into a dark blue screen that covered the three of them. The effect of the icy storm on them was instantly blocked, and the three of them were able to easily pass through it and chase after the three non-humans. Damn it, this brat. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, eyebrows furrowed. He forgot that Zhao Feng also specialized in the laws of water. However, even then, it would still be difficult for Zhao Feng and company to catch up to Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and the other two Sacred Kings. Oomph, you still dare to chase after us. Sacred King Black Poison couldn't help but snicker coldly when he saw Zhao Feng and company chasing after them. He and Sacred King Purple Poison were afraid that Zhao Feng and company would attack them after Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was defeated. If that happened, their chances of winning wouldn't be high. This was why the two non-human Sacred Kings chose to retreat. Extreme Purple Poison Blade. Sacred King Purple Poison suddenly turned around and slashed out with the short purple blade in his hand. A dark purple light flashed on it, and one could feel that it was filled with lethal poison with just one glance. Wang, Zhao Feng, Nangongsheng, and Zhao Yufei had experience working together before, so they immediately released their little world projections. 3 terrifyingly domineering projections of the little worlds twisted together and blocked in front of them. The purple light was blocked by their little world projections, and the mystic light's sacred power on it was slowly worn away. However, because of this, Zhao Feng and company's speed slowed down. Brother Feng, although we have the advantage in a head-on fight, it's more than twice as hard to chase after them. Zhao Yufei messaged at this moment. Zhao Feng, there's no need for us to chase after them, right? Nangongsheng asked curiously. Usually, there wouldn't be any deaths in a fight between experts of the same cultivation. Defeating and killing weren't on the same level. Nangongsheng didn't think that they would be able to kill a sacred king. Furthermore, they were chasing after a small group, which made it even more difficult. Help me capture Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, and I'll give you guys priority in the future, Zhao Feng stated his goal. Nangongsheng's eyes darkened. Zhao Feng's offer was indeed very tempting. Nangongsheng and Zhao Feng had worked together many times. Every time, Zhao Feng was the first to discover resources and opportunities, and every time, it was Zhao Feng who benefited the most. This was partly because of Zhao Feng's eye bloodline and partly because of the little thieving cat. However, Zhao Feng wanted to capture Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. The difficulty of capturing someone was much higher than killing them. Zhao Yufei nodded thoughtfully. Since Zhao Feng mentioned Sacred Lord Myriad Forms as his target, Zhao Yufei immediately understood that Zhao Feng was interested in the eyes of Myriad Forms. If that was the case, then Zhao Yufei would definitely do her best to help Zhao Feng. The three of them finally came to an agreement and decided to continue chasing after them. They had to capture them as soon as possible. After all, the god corpse was filled with danger. If it weren't for the eyes of Myriad Forms, Zhao Feng wouldn't have chased after them. Whoosh! Zhao Feng took out the sky locking bow and shot out a scarlet arrow of lightning. Nangongsheng circulated his purple and blood-colored light and waved his hand, creating several purple and blood-colored figures that charged forward. Zhao Yufei controlled the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi to block the three in front of her. Humans, don't be so ungrateful. You won't be able to catch up to us. This will only waste everyone's time. Sacred King Black Poison unleashed a screen of black water that weakened the attacks of Zhao Feng and company. Sacred King Purple Poison then blocked all the attacks of Zhao Feng and company. Sacred King Black Poison was extremely angry. He never thought that they would face a situation like this right after entering the God Corpse, being chased by a group of humans. Furthermore, they were being chased by 3 Sacred Lords. This was a humiliation that he had never experienced before. Damn it, these humans! Sacred Lord Myriad Forms cursed. There were countless fortunes in the God Corpse. Why was Zhao Feng and company so determined to chase after them? If we meet other non-humans, it will be their death. Sacred King Purple Poison snickered coldly. Although that was the case, it would be bad if they met a group of humans. Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed as he chased after them. There was nothing he could do if 2 Sacred Kings and Sacred Lord Myriad Forms wanted to run. Zhao Feng even wanted to use a substandard god-slaying arrow, but he only had 4 substandard god-slaying arrows right now. Zhao Feng was still hesitating. Boom! Nan Gongsang condensed a purple and blood-colored divine light and thrust out a demonic claw with purple and blood-colored patterns. This claw contained a faint wisp of divine power, and it gave off a terrifying aura. Seeing this, the 2 non-human Sacred Kings circulated their mystic light, sacred power, and unleashed an attack to block Nan Gongsheng's attack. Boom! A huge shockwave of saint power spread out. Crack! The bright white crystal wall on one side instantly shattered. A terrifying aura that shook heaven and earth surged out, causing the heaven-earth Yuan Qi nearby to tremble. This is... Zhao Feng's footsteps stopped as he looked at the shattered crystal wall. It actually cracked. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and company that were running away also stopped. Everyone knew that the crystal wall within the God Corpse was extremely tough. Even if the halves teamed up, it would be extremely difficult to leave a mark on it. However, the shockwaves from their battle had actually shattered the crystal wall. All of this was too weird. Zhao Feng's left eye glowed with a faint golden ripple that pierced through everything and peered into the shattered crystal wall. Zhao Feng's expression changed, and disbelief filled his face. There was a rather large dimension within the shattered crystal wall. There were several dozen white crystal pillars, and at the very center, Zhao Feng saw a ball of white light that radiated divine light in every direction. The instant Zhao Feng and company appeared, the countless crystal pillars instantly released a powerful aura, and surges of powerful intent started to awaken. Boom! Pong! One of the crystal pillars turned into a crystal giant that charged out. Boom! Pong! Pong! The countless crystal pillars started to awaken one after another and started to move. This crystal giant is different from the blood crystal Yao spirits from before. The bloodline aura from this crystal giant is weaker, but contains more divine power. Zhao Feng immediately concluded as he inspected the crystal giants. They seem to be even stronger than the blood crystal Yao spirits from before. Nan Gongsheng's expression became grim as he felt the aura from the other party. The blood crystal Yao spirits from before hadn't reached the level of a Sacred King, but their attacks had reached the level of a Sacred King. However, the crystal giants in front of him were Sacred King-level Yao spirits. Nan Gongsheng, there's the aura of divine power inside. The evil god mental thought body's voice sounded from within Nan Gongsheng's body. Nan Gongsheng revealed a crazed and greedy expression. He could obviously feel the aura of divine power as well. The aura of divine power was extremely forceful and seemed to be even stronger than the power of the evil god. Most importantly, if he could obtain this divine power, he might be able to neutralize the power of the evil god within his body. Human, let's team up for now and take what's inside. Being a Sacred King, Sacred King Black Poison could obviously feel the aura of divine power inside. If he could obtain that ball of divine power, breaking through to the heavenly divine realm wouldn't be a problem. This divine power aura is leaking out. Very soon, it will attract even more teams. Sacred King Purple Poison had a wicked smile. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms hesitated for a moment. When he was being chased by Zhao Feng and company, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms knew that Zhao Feng and company wanted to kill him, and Zhao Feng probably wanted the eyes of Myriad Forms from him. Sacred Kings, please pay attention to Zhao Feng. Since the two Sacred Kings wanted to team up with Zhao Feng and company, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms obviously couldn't just leave by himself. Sure, what we get will depend on our own abilities. Zhao Feng thought for a moment before saying, of course, Zhao Feng had gotten the approval of Zhao Yufei and Nan Gongsheng before making this decision. The sudden appearance of this divine power would definitely attract more groups. It was better to take advantage of the fact that this divine power aura hadn't attracted any other groups yet and start to dig out what was inside. Sacred King Black Poison and company knew this very well. Once a demigod came, they wouldn't even be able to get a share. That's even better. Sacred King Black Poison revealed a wicked smile. It didn't matter if Sacred King Black Poison used the trump card he had prepared for a long time for that ball of divine power. Let's go together. Zhao Feng immediately roared. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The six of them charged in through the hole. Sacred King Black Poison then released a little world filled with black lines and blocked the opening. This was to reduce the amount of divine power leaking out and buy time for themselves. The two groups huddled together. It was obvious that they didn't trust each other completely. Boom, pung, pung. Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei teamed up and faced two crystal giants. The three of them instantly released their battle power and attacked the same crystal giant at the same time. That was the only way to destroy these crystal giants as quickly as possible. On the other hand, Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei had strong defense, and Nan Gongsheng had a substandard god weapon. The three of them were able to take the attacks of the other crystal giant head-on for a short period of time and attack one with all their strength. Blood Demon Claw, Purple Jade Charge, Sky-destroying Sacred Lightning Palm. Zhao Feng and company used this time to attack one of the crystal giants. Holy light filled the sky and bombarded the crystal giant's body. Shameless humans. The crystal giant couldn't withstand the attacks of Zhao Feng and company, so it turned around and tried to retreat. Forbidden Illusion Lost World. Zhao Feng suddenly used an illusion eye bloodline technique just as the crystal giant was about to escape and attract its attention. At the same time, Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei circulated their mystic light, sacred power, and unleashed a lethal attack. Hand of the Evil Sky, Purple Saint Flowing Light Strike. Boom! The crystal giant's body shattered and exploded due to the perfect teamwork of Zhao Feng and company. At the same time, many bright white crystal beads fell from its body. These are substandard god crystals. Zhao Feng and company exclaimed at the same time. The crystal giant dropped a total of 3 substandard god crystals. Zhao Feng and company each took one. On the other side, Sacred King Black Poison's group had also successfully killed a crystal giant and obtained some substandard god crystals. The quality of these substandard god crystals isn't normal. Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled. Zhao Feng had used many substandard god crystals to cultivate before, so he could tell the difference between the two with one glance. The substandard god crystals within the crystal giant's body contained purer and more powerful energy. There was even a faint wisp of the aura of a god. Let's finish them off quickly. More crystal giants are coming. Nan Gongsheng immediately said. Killing a crystal giant would give them substandard god crystals as a reward. However, there were more than a dozen crystal giants in this cave, and they were slowly awakening. Both groups obviously realized this problem. Right now, they were only facing 2 or 3 crystal giants. However, if all the crystal giants here woke up and attacked at the same time, they could only retreat. Boom, pung. Everyone put more effort into attacking the crystal giants. Even Zhao Feng used some offensive eye bloodline techniques from time to time. Although everyone was attacking the crystal giants with all their might, almost all of their attention was on the golden white ball of divine power at the top of the cave. Chapter 1080. Anyone who dares to enter will die here. Inside the cave, another giant crystal giant awakened. Zhao Feng's group and Sacred Lord Myriad Form's group started to feel a heavy pressure. Brother Feng, if this continues, the situation won't be good. Zhao Yufei's expression became solemn. Her entire body was shrouded in a layer of amethyst light, and with every move she made, she dragged a trail of amethyst light behind her and bombarded the crystal giant. Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei's battle power had reached the level of a sacred king, and they could even stall non-human sacred kings like Black Poison and Purple Poison. However, both of them had used their full strength. Nan Gongsheng had used the power of the evil god, and Zhao Yufei had used her spiritual race bloodline. However, even then, they weren't able to gain any advantage against the two sacred kings. On the contrary, it was Zhao Feng who defeated the other sacred lords and turned the tide of the battle. At this moment, it was extremely difficult for them to kill the crystal giants that had the battle power of Sacred King. Adding on the fact that the other crystal giants were also participating in the battle, even Zhao Feng felt a sense of danger. On the other hand, Nan Gongsheng became fiercer and fiercer as he fought, but only Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei knew that Nan Gongsheng had used too much of the power of the evil god. His personality had been twisted, and he had been blinded by greed. In reality, Nan Gongsheng was completely exhausted. I'll use my Soul Eye Bloodline techniques to stall them. You too, attack their hearts, Zhao Feng immediately said. Zhao Feng's physical strength wasn't as strong as Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei, so it was better to leave the attacking position to them. On the other hand, Zhao Feng used his Soul Eye Bloodline techniques to interfere with the crystal giants while using his other techniques to block the attacks of the other two crystal giants. Weakening and blocking the attacks of the Sacred King Yao spirits was a difficult task for Zhao Feng. Forbidden Illusion Lost World. Limitless soul power from his lightning soul body flowed into his left eye. Zhao Feng's left eye turned into a limitless purple and gold maze world that radiated a fatal suction force that interfered with the consciousness of the crystal giants in front of him. Holy Light Strike. Purple light flashed around Zhao Yufei's body as she condensed a surge of mystic light sacred power that landed on the chest of one of the crystal giants. Evil Sky Shattering Devil Claw. A purple and blood-red light flashed in Nan Gongsheng's eyes as a wicked and terrifying purple and blood-red sacred power formed a giant demonic claw that tore through the crystal giant's chest with lightning-fast speed. The crystal giant suddenly regained its consciousness after being attacked. It let out a furious roar and swung its arms, preparing to attack. Soul Confusion. Zhao Feng's left eye focused again and released an illusory mental energy that lingered around the crystal giant's soul consciousness and interfered with it. At the same time, the crystal giant's attack suddenly descended. Zhao Feng merged the physical force lightning domain and the little world of wind lightning to weaken and block it. Nan Gongsheng also took out the gold pawn shield and blocked another terrifying attack. Continue to attack, Zhao Feng said in a hurry. Just like that, the trio worked together and attacked the crystal giant's weaknesses, severely injuring it. Every time the crystal giant was about to attack, Zhao Feng would use his Soul Eye Bloodline techniques to disrupt it. It's about to die, Nan Gongsheng roared as he circulated a wisp of divine power and unleashed a fierce attack. On the other side, Sacred King Black Poison's group was facing 3 crystal giants at the same time, and they were facing a lot of pressure as well. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms hid behind the 2 Sacred Kings and used his Eyes of Myriad Forms to block the crystal giants and support the 2 Sacred Kings. The Eyes of Myriad Forms specialized in the laws of nature, and the laws it condensed were pure and could be used to support the 2 Sacred Kings. The power and defense of these crystal giants are too strong. Sacred King Purple Poison felt that this was troublesome. However, it wasn't the critical moment yet, so he couldn't use his hidden cards easily. On the other hand, he had to be wary of Zhao Feng and company. Their group has an expert that specializes in Soul Eye Bloodline techniques, so it's easier than ours. Sacred King Black Poison had an ugly expression as he stared at Zhao Feng. The sole intent of these crystal giants was weak, but their power and defense were strong. When lightning, eye flame. A purple flame flashed in Zhao Feng's left eye as it released a terrifying undulation of eye bloodline power. Boom! The next instant, the severely injured crystal giant that was about to run away had its head explode, and a ball of purple and gold lightning fire spread across its body. Nan Gongseng and Zhao Yufei then chased after this crystal giant. Boom! Pong! Nan Gongseng grabbed the crystal giant's heart and took out the substandard god crystal within. The second one, Zhao Feng felt slightly tired. Zhao Feng had used up a lot of his sacred power and eye intent from the start of the battle. Nan Gongseng's current situation wasn't much different from Zhao Feng's. Although he had broken through to the late stages of the mystic light realm, his cultivation wasn't stable and his offensive intent wasn't strong enough. On the other hand, although Zhao Yufei was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, her aura was abnormally stable. She kept attacking and maintaining a certain rhythm. There's not much time left. Quickly finish off these crystal giants. Nan Gongseng roared with a bloodthirsty and insane expression. Humans, how about this? Everyone take out their trump cards and finish off these troublesome foes. Sacred King Black Poison suddenly said from the other side. The two groups were both on guard, and this greatly decreased the efficiency of the battle. The six of them had used up a lot of energy, and they were all injured. If this dragged on, they would attract the attention of other groups. Just as Zhao Feng was thinking, a disturbance of aura came from outside the crystal wall. The other groups are coming. Nan Gongseng's heart tightened. Is it a humanoid or a human? Sacred King Black Poison's heart shook. If there were only 6 of them, the spoils would be split evenly between the two groups. However, now that another group was approaching, Sacred King Black Poison could only hope that it was a humanoid group. It's the non-humans. Zhao Feng's left eye saw through the crystal walls and saw the non-human experts flying over. If he wasn't wrong, one of them was the Grand Elder of Demonic Sky Palace, Demigod Destruction, a descendant of one of the non-humans' 8 great god eyes. Zhao Feng's pupils contracted as he felt a sense of life-threatening danger. The others here didn't know anything and were just waiting for the other group to arrive. Zhao Feng was just about to tell Nan Gongseng, Zhao Yufei, and company about this information. Wong. Boom. Boom. Right at this moment, a strong disturbance of consciousness came from the ball of light above the cave, and a terrifying aura that could suppress the universe started to spread. All the crystal giants in the cave started to tremble and stop attacking. What's going on? Sacred King Black Poison's expression turned to surprise as he looked at the ball of divine power. How is this possible? Could it be? Zhao Feng's expression turned to surprise as he stared at the ball of white divine light with his left eye and took in a cold breath. This ball of light has its own consciousness. Could it have become a Yao spirit like the crystal giants? Zhao Feng was stunned. His left eye saw something that others couldn't see. If it was just a surge of divine power, they would still be able to take it. However, this surge of divine power had its own consciousness. It was a Yao spirit. How terrifying would a Yao spirit that could use this divine power be? Demigod Destruction, divine power, Yao spirit. At this moment, only Zhao Feng felt these two life-threatening dangers, but he still acted normally on the surface. Little thieving cat. Zhao Feng circulated his intent and communicated with the little thieving cat, who was hiding in the darkness. On the other side, Sacred King Black Poison, Sacred King Purple Poison, and Sacred Lord Myriad Forms were attracted by the disturbance of divine power above the cave. After all, they had teamed up to attack this place for this surge of divine power. Suddenly, a streak of silver light flashed behind Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Meow meow. The little thieving cat gripped a normal metal shovel with both hands and smashed it against Sacred Lord Myriad Form's head. When the little thieving cat used the metal shovel, it could transfer the stun effect of its paws onto the metal shovel and combine it with the power of the metal shovel. making its control even stronger. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's mind instantly started to tremble. Ding! The little thieving cat took off the necklace around its neck and turned into the shadow of a dark golden dragon that wrapped around Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. The dark golden dragon snake whip that wrapped around Sacred Lord Myriad Forms had the effect of numbing and absorbing mystic light sacred power, making Sacred Lord Myriad Forms feel powerless. Meow meow. After doing all this, the little thieving cat opened its mouth, and a green dot of light appeared. This green dot of light was the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly. The cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly immediately flapped its wings, and a wave of half-transparent pollen formed a beautiful whirlwind that surrounded Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and spread in every direction. The little thieving cat was extremely agile, and it only took an instant to do all this. Sacred King Black Poison and Sacred King Purple Poison, who were attracted by the change in the divine light, reacted, and their expressions changed dramatically as they prepared to take action. At this moment, the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly opened its mouth and spat out 5-colored sacred light silk that pierced through the air. The combination of the cloud silkworm Saint Silk and the dream pollen greatly disturbed the two sacred kings. Whoosh! In the next instant, the little thieving cat dragged the defenseless Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and turned into a streak of dark silver light that disappeared. Humans, what are you doing? Sacred King Black Poison was stunned. From the little thieving cat's actions just now, he knew that Zhao Feng had planned this a long time ago. The little thieving cat's timing was perfect. The arrival of another group and the sudden change in the divine light caused their attention to wander and their guard to drop. Zhao Feng, what are you doing? Nan Gongxing's expression froze. It was obvious that Zhao Feng didn't tell them what he did just now. It's the non-human demigod destruction. Let's go. Zhao Feng messaged the two of them and told them about this before waving his left hand and using the misty spatial world. What? The expressions of Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei changed dramatically. They didn't doubt what Zhao Feng said. If the group that was coming over was really a non-human demigod, then they might die here. Boom! Right at this moment, several non-humans charged through the crack in the crystal wall. The leader was covered in black scales and had a horn on his head. It was demigod destruction. Humans, stay here. Demigod Destruction's eyes shot out a bright golden light as he looked at Zhao Feng and company. However, it was too late. The figures of Zhao Feng and company disappeared with a flash of silver. Demigod Destruction's attack missed and landed on the crystal giant behind him. Senior Destruction. Sacred King Black Poison and Purple Poison King had respectful expressions. He was happy that the group that was coming over was a non-human, but he didn't expect that there would be a demigod in this non-human group. On top of that, Zhao Feng and company suddenly took action and left after capturing Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. It was as if they knew that the group that was coming over was Demigod Destruction's group. But how was that possible? The divine sense of a Sacred Lord couldn't pass through the crystal walls unless they touched the level of a demigod. Demigod Destruction's divine sense was very weak here. So Demigod Destruction sensed Zhao Feng and immediately attacked Zhao Feng the moment he entered. Sacred King Black Poison and Purple Poison King were just about to explain the situation. Boom! The ceiling of the cave suddenly caved in, and a giant heavy figure descended in front of them. Chapter 1081. The ceiling of the crystal cave started to shatter. Boom! A heavy and enormous figure descended in front of everyone. A ball of white divine light flashed in the center of this figure and radiated a terrifying aura. When the dust settled, a giant crystal monster appeared in front of Demigod Destruction, Sacred King Black Poison, and Sacred King Purple Poison. This crystal monster had clear facial features, and its crystallized body contained countless tiny white lines that seemed to be its meridians. The center of these lines was a ball of golden white divine light. Did you enter Master's body to steal his power? The crystal giant looked at the humans in front of it and spoke in a cold tone. It was as if it was a king that looked down on the world. Facing the terrifying aura of the divine power crystal giant, Sacred King Black Poison, Sacred King Purple Poison, and the other sacred lords in Demigod Destruction's group started to sweat. This instinctive suppression made them unable to even think of resisting. The ball of divine power has turned into a Yao spirit. Does this crystal Yao spirit have the power of a true god? Sacred King Black Poison had a stunned expression. At the start, Zhao Feng and company wanted to steal this ball of divine power. However, this ball of divine power had formed its own consciousness and turned into a Yao spirit. Your master died a long time ago. What he left behind belongs to whoever obtains it. Demigod Destruction squinted his eyes as he inspected the divine power crystal giant in front of him. The crystal giant's energy source was the ball of white divine power, but that didn't mean that the crystal giant could directly use its power. If it could use this power, it would mean that it had reached the heavenly divine realm. When it used this power, it would be rejected by this world, and it would be summoned by the ancient desolate realm of gods. It would enter the ancient desolate realm of gods. Therefore, Demigod Destruction was certain that the Yao spirit in front of him wasn't as terrifying as he imagined it to be. Sacred King Black Poison's heart shook as he looked at Demigod Destruction. Demonic Sky Palace was originally just a normal 3-star power, but because Sacred King Destruction had touched the level of a demigod not long ago, Demonic Sky Palace became a peak 3-star power of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty. Although Demigod Destruction had just become a demigod not long ago, he had the eyes of destruction. Even the demigods of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty that had lived for several dozen millennia weren't his match. Therefore, with the death of a demigod, it was very likely that the Demonic Sky Palace would become another 4-star sect in the Dark Moon dynasty. You think you can get Master's power? The divine power crystal giant couldn't help but snicker. Buzz! The ball of god power at the heart of the god power crystal giant flashed slightly. A terrifying god aura spread from his body. The white crystal veins in the god power crystal giant's body suddenly flashed with faint light. Only those who stay here can have a share of the loot. Demigod Destruction's eyes were as bright as the sun as they radiated the intent of destruction that could destroy heaven and earth. Demigod Destruction couldn't force the other sacred lords to stay, but if they could help, they would be able to reduce the pressure on him. This was why Demigod Destruction said such a thing. Senior Destruction, we'll help you. The Black Poison and Purple Poison Saint Kings chose to stay behind. The 2 early-stage sacred lords of the Demigod Destruction group immediately left. Sacred lords at the early stages of the mystic light realm didn't dare to participate in a battle between gods. Giant God Seal, the divine power crystal giant, stepped forward and waved its fist, condensing an ancient golden seal that crushed toward Demigod Destruction and company with the power to suppress the 9 heavens. Light of Destruction. Demigod Destruction's eyes suddenly changed, and they started to flash with a golden light that shone brightly in the world. At the edge of the god corpse, the figures of Zhao Feng and company slowly appeared in a layer of silver. This was the entrance that Zhao Feng and company had used to enter the god corpse. Zhao Feng had used the misty spatial world to leave a spatial mark here at the start of the operation. So close. It's Demigod Destruction. Nan Gongsheng gritted his teeth and said, even if Demigod Destruction didn't come, we still needed to leave. That ball of divine power has already formed its own consciousness. Zhao Feng said honestly. What? It formed its own consciousness? Nan Gongsheng was doubtful. Let's recover and consolidate our strength here, Zhao Feng suggested. Everyone had used up a lot of energy in the battle just now, and they were all injured to varying degrees. Furthermore, Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei had all forcefully increased their cultivation because they were in a rush to explore this place. Their foundations were extremely unstable, and Nan Gongsheng's was the weakest. That's a good idea, Zhao Yufei said with a smile. The god corpse was undoubtedly the best place for her spiritual race bloodline to cultivate. Whoosh! A substandard god crystal appeared in Zhao Yufei's hand. This was the substandard god crystal that they had obtained from killing the crystal giant, and it was of extremely high quality. Zhao Feng, why do you want to capture sacred Lord Myriad Forms? Nan Gongsheng asked at this moment. Just now, everyone was facing danger at the same time in the cave, but Zhao Feng was still able to capture sacred Lord Myriad Forms. From this, one could see how stubborn Zhao Feng was towards sacred Lord Myriad Forms. I'm slightly interested in the eyes of Myriad Forms. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei had only obtained a few substandard god crystals from the battle in the cave, which wasn't much. It could be said that Zhao Feng, who had captured sacred Lord Myriad Forms, was the person who had gained the most. After saying that, he entered the misty spatial world. Zhao Feng, what do you want to do? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' muffled voice sounded. At this moment, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was tied up by the little thieving cat. The cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly floated in the air above Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and radiated a powerful bloodline pressure. It would occasionally flap its wings and scatter a layer of dream pollen that made Sacred Lord Myriad Forms exhausted. On the other side, the little thieving cat would occasionally swing its spade and hit Sacred Lord Myriad Form's head. Gaze of the God Eye. A shocking eye bloodline power appeared from Zhao Feng's left eye. In an instant, a bottomless purple whirlpool formed in Zhao Feng's left eye, and it was like a limitless purple abyss surrounded by mist. A forbidden power that targeted the soul covered Sacred Lord Myriad Form's body. This move again. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul felt cold, and it started to leave his body uncontrollably. Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the late stages of the mystic light realm. At this moment, Zhao Feng's gaze of the god, I locked down Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul, adding on the fact that Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul was extremely weak due to the large amount of dream pollen. He couldn't fight back at all. Shua! Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul was sucked into the dimension of Zhao Feng's left eye. I'll enslave him first, then take the eyes of Myriad Forms after he leaves the god corpse. Zhao Feng thought for a moment and murmured. At this moment, Zhao Feng couldn't split his soul, or else his soul intent would drop, and he wouldn't be able to continue exploring this place. Furthermore, the enslaved Sacred Lord Myriad Forms could become Zhao Feng's helper. Zhao Feng knew how strong the eyes of Myriad Forms were. After making his decision, Zhao Feng entered the dimension of his left eye and slowly imprinted the dark heart seal in his Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul. Shua! Zhao Feng placed Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul back into his body. Master, what are your orders? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms half knelt on the ground and asked respectfully. Recover from your injuries first and help me when the time comes. After dealing with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, Zhao Feng started to cultivate and consolidate his foundation. Let's see the effect of the substandard god crystal within the crystal giant's body. A sparkling white gold crystal pearl appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. Zhao Feng circulated the 5 elemental wind lightning technique and started to absorb the energy within the substandard god crystal. At the same time, a blood-red crystal pearl appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. Zhao Feng multitasked as he inspected this crystal pearl that radiated a terrifying bloodline aura. This blood-red crystal pearl was something that Zhao Feng had obtained from the bottom of the pond. At the time, Zhao Feng hadn't had the time to inspect it. It seems to be a god crystal, Zhao Feng concluded after inspecting it for a long time. After all, Zhao Feng had seen an evil god crystal before, and he had a god crystal in his own little world of illusions. However, this god crystal was slightly different. Apart from a wisp of divine power and the essence of heaven and earth, there was also a surge of bloodline essence. Blood god crystal. Zhao Feng's expression changed. This was a god crystal that contained the bloodline of the god corpse. According to the guesses of the continent zone, it was very likely that this god corpse belonged to the giant god race, which was ranked 15th among the 10,000 ancient races. The giant god race was a terrifying ancient bloodline that was ranked even higher than the spiritual race. At this moment, the blood god crystal in Zhao Feng's hand might contain a wisp of the giant god race's bloodline. Zhao Feng put the blood god crystal away after calming himself down. The value of this blood god crystal was, without a doubt, even higher than Nan Gongsheng's evil god crystal. However, if Zhao Feng used this blood god crystal, it would be a waste of its value. Firstly, Zhao Feng's body contained the perfect blood devil sun bloodline, which had nothing in common with the giant god race bloodline. He didn't know what would happen if he used it rashly. Secondly, the quality of Zhao Feng's perfect blood devil sun bloodline was also very high. This wisp of giant god race bloodline might not even be as good as Zhao Feng's perfect blood devil sun bloodline. Meow meow. The little thieving cat walked over with a green spiritual gourd. Zhao Feng took out some of the blood-colored liquid from the pond and smeared it on his body before circulating his sacred lightning body. It can strengthen the bloodline and increase the power of one's state of existence. It also contains a wisp of the intent of earth. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. The effect of this blood-colored liquid was even better than the sky, fire, lightning, ape bloodline. Most importantly, it contained a wisp of the intent of earth, which was beneficial for Zhao Feng's earth of wind, lightning, sacred power. One day later, the physical aura radiating from Zhao Feng's body became stronger and stronger, and his sacred lightning body had improved to the early stages of the 6th level. The earth of wind lightning in the 9th level of the 5-elemental wind lightning technique had also become more stable. After using a large amount of blood-colored liquid and some substandard god crystals, Zhao Feng had pretty much solved the problem of his unstable foundation from forcefully breaking through a few days ago. Whoosh! Zhao Feng left the misty spatial world. In just one day, Nan Gongsheng used the resources he had obtained to consolidate his cultivation and control his power. However, because his intent wasn't strong enough, he was still unable to control this power. It was just that his current state was slightly better than before. On the other side, Zhao Yufei was also improving rapidly. Her mystic light's sacred power was even more condensed, and it was almost comparable to a sacred king's mystic light sacred power. However, just like Nan Gongsheng, Zhao Yufei's intent was too weak. Otherwise, their strength would have increased by another level. Let's go. There should be resources in the God Corpse that can condense the soul and increase one's comprehension of intents. Zhao Feng said simply. Zhao Feng desperately needed resources in this area as well. The trio then moved out once more. One day ago, they hadn't even explored 1/10,000th of the entire God Corpse, and that was only the outer regions. Through the see-through ability of his left eye, Zhao Feng noticed that there were other teams approaching. They had obviously been attracted by the explosion. What's that? Zhao Feng's vision pierced through dozens of crystal walls and reached the limit. He saw some images. More than half of the crystal wall had been destroyed, and wisps of divine power leaked out from the cracks in the crystal wall, turning everything within a certain range into a forbidden ground. There were 2 heavily injured sacred kings and several sacred lords at the edge of the broken wall. These 2 sacred kings were Sacred King Black Poison and Sacred King Purple Poison, who Zhao Feng and company had met when they first entered the God Corpse. There was also a non-human sacred lord that Zhao Feng recognized, Sacred Lord Sky Trampler. Sacred Lord Sky Trampler was the late-stage mystic light realm sacred lord of the Elephant Men race that had gone with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms to find Zhao Feng for revenge. There was also the tattered corpse of a non-human sacred lord not far away from them, and its soul had been completely destroyed. 2 figures then flew out from the center of the explosion. Destruction, working with you this time, was a huge loss. One of them was a muscular elephant man elder with dark yellow skin. His aura was weak, and his expression was ugly. Demigod ferocity. If it weren't for my eyes of destruction, that divine power crystal giant would have ignited its divine power. If it weren't for my eyes of destruction, you would have died here. Demigod Destruction's golden eyes were dim. At the start, the strength that the divine power crystal giant displayed was far beyond what Demigod Destruction could handle. Demigod Destruction's group was chased for a while before encountering Demigod Ferocity of the Elephant Men race. The two demigods then teamed up to turn the tide and chase after the divine power crystal giant. In the end, the divine power crystal giant knew that it couldn't escape, so it exploded the ball of divine power within its body, resulting in the current situation. We spent so much effort, but we didn't get anything. Demigod Ferocity had an angry expression. Lord Ferocity. Demigod Ferocity's group bowed their heads and greeted him respectfully. They didn't dare to anger this demigod at this moment. Let's go. Demigod Ferocity and his group were about to leave. Demigod Ferocity, let me tell you some news. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms of your Elephant Men race has been captured by a human. Demigod Destruction said with a smile. What? That brat Myriad Forms? Demigod Ferocity's footsteps paused as his eyebrows furrowed. Which human expert is it? Demigod Ferocity asked. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was very arrogant and did whatever he wanted. He didn't have a good relationship with the other members of his race. However, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms had the eyes of Myriad Forms and had great potential. He would definitely become a demigod in the future, so the race placed a lot of importance on him. Hee, a human sacred lord, Zhao Feng. Demigod Destruction laughed with a hint of mockery. Zhao Feng was very famous during the war between the lord dynasties. When he was a quasi-sacred lord, he used a special weapon to defeat Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, and after becoming a sacred lord, he defeated Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, who had come to take revenge. This time, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, the owner of the eyes of Myriad Forms, had been captured alive by Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng? Initial stages of the mystic light realm? Demigod Ferocity's expression was dead. It was obvious that he had heard about Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had broken through to the early stages of the mystic light realm before entering the God Corpse, so most people didn't know about it. Demigod Ferocity snickered coldly and left with his group. At the same time, Demigod Destruction also quickly left with his group. This explosion was too terrifying, and both he and Demigod Ferocity were heavily injured. If they met a human demigod, they would be in danger. On the other side, Zhao Feng saw the situation at the center of the explosion with his left eye, and his heart shook as he looked at Demigod Ferocity. Let's go. Zhao Feng immediately said before leaving with Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei. He didn't think that something like this would happen after capturing Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Originally, Zhao Feng had to worry about Demigod Dark Ocean from Nine Darkness Palace in the God Corpse, and now he was being targeted by a non-human demigod. Demigods were the strongest experts on the continent. Even though Demigod Ferocity was heavily injured, he could still easily kill Zhao Feng. All he needed to do was move his fingers. There are two non-human demigods at the center of the explosion. Zhao Feng said when he saw that Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei were still curious about the situation at the center of the explosion. Hearing that, the expressions of Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei changed dramatically. Zhao Feng and company slowed down after traveling a long distance and started to recover their yuan qi. Zhao Feng, what happened there? There are two demigods. Nan Gongsheng asked at this moment. Zhao Feng then told them what he saw. That giant made of divine power ignite the ball of divine power? Nan Gongsheng let out a long breath and felt that it was a pity. However, there were many fortuitous encounters in the God Corpse, and there should be some divine power in other places as well. The trio set off once more after resting for a while. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. They only traveled a couple miles when they heard the sound of battle in front of them. Wang. A faint golden ripple covered Zhao Feng's left eye as it passed through the crystal wall in front of them. Three golden-white figures shot out from a pile of crystals and headed in Zhao Feng's direction. Chase after them. Don't let that sacred lord of the Grand Imperial Hall escape. They took away many substandard god crystals and precious resources. 5 alien race figures immediately chased out from the pile of crystals in the ruins. Sacred Lord Gongwang? Zhao Feng saw a familiar person amongst the fleeing figures. Sacred Lord Gongwang was the Sacred Lord of the Grand Imperial Hall that protected the Ninth Prince on the battlefield. Whoosh! Whoosh! There were 2 abnormally powerful auras among the non-humans chasing after them. In one of the white beams of light, a translucent green-skinned woman could be vaguely seen. She was charming and moving, and her speed was the fastest. Behind her was a tall, golden-haired, middle-aged man from a non-human race. He held an ancient and enormous long axe in his hand, and he emanated a horrifying aura. Run! We might be able to meet a human group. A male wearing green armor said from the group that was running with Sacred Lord Gongwang. Although he was a sacred king, this male in green armor was severely injured. His right arm had been cut off, and his face was pale white. It's a human group. Another sacred lord revealed a joyful expression when he saw Zhao Feng's figure. But then, his expression immediately darkened. Early stage mystic light realm? 3 mystic light realm sacred lords? The green-armored male with the missing arm was the first to see Zhao Feng, and his heart dropped. He then sighed when he sensed the auras of the 2 sacred lords behind him. There were 6 non-humans chasing after them, and 2 of them were sacred kings. What could 3 normal sacred lords do against such a terrifying group? It's Zhao Feng. Sacred Lord Gongwang was different from the other 2. He immediately exclaimed with joy. The 2 sacred lords in his group were both upper echelon members of the Grand Imperial Hall, and they were usually in seclusion. They didn't know the situation on the battlefield very well. Zhao Feng. Although the green-armored male didn't know what Zhao Feng looked like, he had heard the other sacred lords mention this name before. Zhao Feng, can you help us? Sacred Lord Gongwang immediately asked. He obviously knew how strong Zhao Feng, Zhao Yufei, and Nan Gongsheng were. Furthermore, their strength had increased. Although he didn't expect Zhao Feng and company to help them defeat the non-humans behind them, if Zhao Feng and company teamed up with Sacred Lord Gongwang and company, they should be able to stop the non-humans behind them. The expressions of the green-armored male with the missing arm and the other sacred lord eased up slightly, and they revealed a look of joy. The expressions of the green-armored male with the missing arm and the other sacred lord relaxed slightly, and they revealed a look of joy. When they closely inspected the trio in front of them, they found that they were indeed different from the others. At the same time, the green-armored male also recognized Zhao Yufei, who had the bloodline of the spiritual race. What's in it for me? Zhao Feng's expression didn't change as he spoke. What you? The early-stage sacred lord in the group was instantly enraged. Zhao Feng, we're all humans. It's normal for you to defend against the non-humans in times of danger, right? The expression of the injured green-armored sacred king became grim. If it wasn't for the fact that he was injured and couldn't do anything, he wouldn't be speaking so politely to Zhao Feng. At this moment, the 6 foreign race experts had already caught up to them. The 2 sacred kings at the front inspected Zhao Feng and company, and their solemn expressions relaxed as they gave faint smiles. I thought that you found some powerful helpers, but it's just 3 normal sacred lords. The non-human female with transparent green body laughed coldly. Chapter 1083. And I thought that you found some incredible helpers, but it's just 3 normal sacred lords. The translucent, emerald green female smiled coldly. What's in it for me? Zhao Feng said to the injured green-armored sacred king. After all, if Zhao Feng and company helped, they would be facing 6 non-humans, and 2 of them were sacred kings. Zhao Feng really didn't want to help with something so dangerous and pointless. Nan Gongsheng didn't want to help either. Furthermore, if this green-armored sacred king met a human sacred king or a demigod, he would definitely hand over a large amount of treasures and ask for help. This meant that even though the green-armored sacred king and company were in danger, they still looked down on Zhao Feng and company because they were from the Grand Imperial Hall and wanted to order Zhao Feng and company around. The expressions of the injured, green-armored male and the other sacred lord were extremely ugly. If it wasn't for the fact that the situation was dangerous, they might have already attacked Zhao Feng. They were the upper echelon of a 4-star power in the Great Gan Lore dynasty and the people behind the scenes, but Zhao Feng was using this chance to extort them. We're the upper echelon of the Grand Imperial Hall and the force behind the Great Gan Lore dynasty. What you're doing is a little inappropriate. The green-armored male suppressed the anger in his heart and said, Sacred King Greenlight, let's take out some of the resources we just obtained. Sacred Lord Gongwang immediately persuaded. After all, Zhao Feng and company were able to save their lives, so it was normal for them to take out some of their treasures. Furthermore, these non-humans weren't easy to deal with. You humans are pretty interesting. You're still fighting amongst yourselves, even when death is at hand. The translucent green female giggled. Kill them all. The other foreign race holy king, who wielded a giant axe, let out a loud roar and immediately attacked. At the same time, the other non-humans behind him smiled coldly and followed. If you can help us defeat the non-humans, we're willing to give you 30% of what we just obtained. Sacred King Greenlight immediately said after seeing the Sacred King experts attack. The other early-stage Sacred Lord nodded his head, indicating that he had no objections. In fact, they didn't think that Zhao Feng and the others could help them solve this crisis. They only wanted to use Zhao Feng to buy time, because when they were being chased by the outsiders, they had already sent out a distress signal. 50%, Zhao Feng said directly. You're courting death, ignorant human. Seeing that Zhao Feng and the others were still chatting with each other, the outsider with the huge axe grimaced. All right, 50% it is. Sacred King Greenlight was furious, but he could only swallow it and agree to Zhao Feng's request. Then let's go together. Zhao Feng saw that the other party agreed and said directly, if only Zhao Feng and company fought, even if Sacred King Greenlight handed over all his resources, Zhao Feng wouldn't help him. Go! Sacred King Greenlight immediately shouted. Buzz! A golden-white sword appeared in Sacred King Greenlight's left hand, and it radiated a blinding light. Whoosh whoosh, the 6 humans rushed out at the same time. Boom! Nan Gongxing's purple and blood-colored sacred light clashed with the axe-wielding non-human male. At the same time, the other 5 clashed with the other non-human experts. That's the bloodline of the spiritual race. The transparent green, non-human female instantly knew who Zhao Yufei was when she fought with Zhao Yufei. Zhao Yufei could summon the heaven-earth Yuan Qi with every movement and increase the power of her attacks. Spiritual Radiance Sacred Strike. Zhao Yufei's hand began to shine with an astonishing violet light. Afterward, a layer of resplendent violet light shot toward the jade green Saint Ruler. On the other side, the battle between the axe-wielding non-human male and Nan Gongsheng shook heaven and earth. The axe in the non-human Sacred King's hand radiated a dominating power that could suppress everything as it slashed out a giant shockwave. Nan Gongsheng didn't back down. He circulated a wisp of the evil god's power and formed 2 evil claws that blocked the non-human Sacred King's attack. The power of the evil god. Nan Gongsheng? The expression of a non-human male holding the axe turned to surprise as he recognized Nan Gongsheng's identity. On the other hand, Zhao Feng started to fight with the other non-human sacred lords. This was the strategy that Zhao Feng and company had come up with a long time ago. When they met a group of sacred kings, Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei would stall the non-human sacred kings. Nan Gongsheng had the power of the evil god and the golden pawn shield, so it was extremely easy for him to stall a sacred king. Zhao Yufei's battle power had also increased in the God Corps due to her spiritual race bloodline. Zhao Feng looked the weakest and was easily ignored, so he needed to quickly defeat the other sacred lords in the non-human group and turn the situation around. Of course, this strategy was only suitable when there were only 2 sacred kings in the non-human group. But even so, Zhao Feng and the others could only rely on this strategy to gain a certain advantage. It would still be difficult for them to defeat their opponents, unless Zhao Feng and the others took out some trump cards. Furthermore, if they encountered a foreign race team with more than 3 Saint Kings, or if the team's overall number and strength were very strong, they would not be able to escape. In that case, Zhao Feng and the others could only retreat with all their might. Sky-shattering sacred lightning palm. Zhao Feng merged the power of wind and lightning with the physical force lightning domain and struck out with a scarlet golden palm. Buzz, buzz, buzz. A mountainous golden-red lightning palm flashed with boundless lightning as it pushed forward. Moreover, Zhao Feng's palm strike had fused with the heavy pressure and power of the physical force lightning domain. Boom! A late-stage Mystic Light Realm, Sacred Lord, and an early-stage Mystic Light Realm, Sacred Lord, in front of Zhao Feng weren't able to block the peerless power of Zhao Feng's palm, and were smashed into the crystal wall behind them. The early-stage, non-human Sacred Lord was almost slapped to death by Zhao Feng's palm. Senior, we're not his match. The other late-stage Sacred Lord had been injured and was slightly scared of Zhao Feng. How is this possible? Even that brat's strength is so strong. The translucent green, non-human woman's face was filled with fear. The strength of the 3 Mystic Light Realm, Sacred Lords in front of them had exceeded their expectations. So strong. Sacred King Green Light was surprised. He didn't expect Nen Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei to have grown to such a level that they could stall Sacred Kings. Zhao Feng's strength wasn't to be underestimated either. From the looks of it, the two of them working together would be able to defeat the non-humans very easily. Great! Sacred Lord Gong Wang was overjoyed. Not even he could have imagined that Zhao Feng's group of 3 had gotten so strong. When they first met, Zhao Feng's strength was only on par with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, and Nan Gongsheng could only fight against Sacred Lord Sky Trampler. Clone. The 2 non-human Sacred Kings immediately released their clones to help the late-stage Sacred Lord fight against Zhao Feng. The clones of the 2 Sacred Kings had 50% of a Sacred King's battle power, and they were able to suppress Zhao Feng when they teamed up with the late-stage Sacred Lord. Sacred King Greenlight, your clone? Sacred Lord Gong Wang asked in a hurry. My clone was severely injured just now and can't fight. Sacred King Greenlight refused to help Zhao Feng. Wang, seeing that the situation wasn't good, Zhao Feng immediately released the projection of his little world of illusions to weaken the 3 non-human experts in front of him. 2 of the clones had weak consciousnesses, and they were greatly weakened in Zhao Feng's little world of illusions. On top of that, Zhao Feng's illusions were even stronger in the projection of his little world of illusions. Purple Star Confusion. Soul Confusion. Zhao Feng circulated his left eye and casually used some of the simple illusions that he had learned in the Ji family. Zhao Feng's talent in the Tao of Illusions was actually much higher than his offensive eye bloodline techniques. He just didn't put in the effort to study them. Not good. That brat is very troublesome as well. The non-human Sacred King, holding the giant axe, felt that something was wrong. With the support of their clones, Zhao Feng was still able to fight with ease, and he was slowly gaining the upper hand. Furthermore, the battle power of the other 3 upper echelon members of the Grand Imperial Hall couldn't be ignored. Although Sacred King Greenlight was severely injured, he still had the battle power of a late-stage Mystic Light Realm. Retreat. The translucent green female immediately transmitted her voice to everyone. There was no need to fight to the death in an obviously disadvantageous situation. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At the same time, all the non-humans started to escape. The humans didn't chase after them. Thank you, little friend Zhao Feng. Sacred Lord Gong Wang immediately thanked him. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile towards Sacred Lord Gong Wang before looking at Sacred King Greenlight. Senior, please fulfill your promise from before. Zhao Feng's voice was emotionless. If the 2 upper echelon members of the Grand Imperial Hall had used their full strength, the battle would have ended even faster. However, Sacred King Greenlight saw that the two non-human Sacred Kings had taken out their clones and didn't help. I, Sacred King Greenlight, will fulfill my promise. Sacred King Greenlight unwillingly handed over an interspatial ring. Sacred King Greenlight was a Sacred King, and he had a lot of power in the Grand Imperial Hall. He obviously wouldn't go back on his word. Zhao Feng took the interspatial ring and revealed a joyful expression after inspecting it. 43 precious spiritual materials, 16 substandard god crystals, and 3 true god crystals. Zhao Feng believed that Sacred King Greenlight definitely didn't give him enough, but the resources exceeded Zhao Feng's expectations, so he didn't bother with Sacred King Greenlight. Goodbye, everyone. Zhao Feng immediately said goodbye to Sacred King Greenlight after the transaction was completed. Zhao Feng, Nin Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei then quickly left. Several powerful auras appeared behind Sacred King Greenlight not long after Zhao Feng and company left. Sacred King Greenlight, what happened? Are you injured? The newcomer was Sacred King Feather Spirit. He was nearby just now, and he immediately rushed over after receiving Sacred King Greenlight's message for help. We met the non-humans, but we just met Zhao Feng's group. We teamed up and defeated the non-humans. Sacred King Greenlight sighed. If Sacred King Feather Spirit had arrived earlier, he wouldn't have been blackmailed by these juniors. What? Zhao Feng? Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression shook as joy appeared on his face. Next to him, Saint King Shihai's eyes also flashed. Brother Greenlight, where did Zhao Feng go? Tell me. Sacred King Feather Spirit had an excited expression. Brother Feather Spirit, why are you looking for Zhao Feng? Sacred King Greenlight was very surprised when he saw Sacred King Feather Spirit's expression. Brother Greenlight, you might not know this, but Zhao Feng is the beast that killed the 13th prince of the Great Zhou Imperials, and he once attacked the upper echelon of the Grand Imperial Hall. Sacred King Feather Spirit said. Of course, he completely ignored the fact that he was heavily injured by Zhao Feng. This junior is so despicable. He also took the chance to extort the precious resources I obtained from the God Corps. I'll go with Brother Feather Spirit to capture this brat. Sacred King Greenlight's expression shook, and he was even happier than Sacred King Feather Spirit. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.